Alrighty, we are currently live. I'm going to hop over to Discord real quick.
Make an announcement.
Everyone, the playoff stream is live. As a reply. Here we go. Alrighty.
Yeah, I see you're live. I have audio, and then I see your little,
And
your front page.
The thumbnail. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's what I want. So
you're gonna switch the screen once we're ready to go.
Yeah, once we're firing up.
I have no idea how streaming on YouTube works. I've only ever done Twitch.
I did Twitch a little bit a long time ago. Hey Goose, how's it going? I did Twitch once or twice because I have a modded 3DS with a hardware capture card in it, and so when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, I think, or maybe Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I don't know, but whenever one of those came out, I streamed those for a couple days, just like playing it for fun, and a couple of my friends watched and stuff like that, and I did that on Twitch, and I remember it being kind of a pain, and YouTube has been much easier to do, and also it keeps your VODs forever. Like Twitch deletes shit. So
yeah, well, Twitch saves your VODs, but you have to like go out of your way to save it after. I guess
exactly.
YouTube just saves all your streams, the whole thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I like.
Is this am I seeing a Linux user over here? Is that what I'm seeing on the right side of your screen? The taskbar on the right side?
That is a thing you can do in Windows, but yes, this is a Linux machine.
Oh, very nice.
For a year and a half or so now. I used to back in the day, back like 2008, like I was on like Ubuntu, like 2008 LTS stuff, like some old stuff. I did that for like 3 or 4 years, and then went back to Windows for a while. But it's so much better now. I haven't had to boot into my Windows partition in 6 months, probably.
Oh yeah, I love it. I respect it. I'm just too much of a comfortable with my Windows. I don't like change. I wouldn't be able to get used to it. I'd just give in and go back.
My main reason was in anticipation of the end of life for Windows 10, because I use Windows 11 at work and I do not like it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm all my systems I'm keeping on 10 for now.
Yeah. So switched over. Haven't had too much friction. There's been a little bit of, some Steam stuff doesn't run super reliably when there's like some third-party software that also has to run, like some server authentication stuff. It can be kind of a pain sometimes, like Ubisoft games. And
I feel like there's got to be some niche programs too that aren't really optimized for Linux, right?
I haven't really had any issues with anything except for the software that grabs my 3DS capture card, because it requires some USB drivers that do not exist and for whatever reason don't run in Linux, even like through a compatibility layer. That's the only thing that I've just not been able to get to work.
I see. You see, the people came for the Pokemon stream, but they're getting the VBL-S tech talk right here.
That's right.
Of the week.
All right, so we got a couple people in here. It's playoff time, and we've got myself, hello, and we've got Sucaba, also hello.
Howdy. Hello.
Let me adjust Sucaba's video there, so it's not so you don't have weird black bars around my bad cropping, but
there you go.
Alrighty, so we got 8 matches to watch, 8 matchups to talk about, 16 pastes. I got every single player's paste.
That's impressive.
Everyone sent theirs to me except for Jace, but I just grabbed it out of the old server, and it was no problem.
So you didn't have to harass anybody for their pace. That's great.
Yeah, just a couple people like, hey, can you send me yours? I got the replays from the other person or whatever, but
Right.
yeah, it wasn't bad at all. But like I said, we have 8 matches to watch, so no reason not to move it along a little bit at least. And the first one we've got here, we've got Electric versus Purple, Shogun Beat versus the Damascus Drift Blems. 2 teams that I enjoyed watching during the regular season quite a bit. Both made it into some weekly heats. Electric might have been the most weekly heated. Definitely them or Bohm. And Purple Rain also pretty fun to watch sometimes. Well, generally fun to watch. Made it on weekly heat sometimes. We've got the Metagross and Baxcalibur and the Tinglu as big, scary physical attackers. That Decidueye to a bit as well. Got that Orthworm that crushed me in the regular season next to some Earthquakes and just couldn't kill it. Didn't play Electric in the regular season. Did you?
I did not. I didn't play either of these coaches.
Yeah, you didn't play either coach. But Sableye was excellent for Electric during the regular season.
All-star caliber for sure. The prankster weather, fake out support, fake out immunity. It's obviously one of the best prankster mons, and we have it priced accordingly in that it's like a pretty like high teens, isn't it? Like 16?
Yeah, 16, 17, something like that.
It's proven worth the cost. I'm liking some. Yeah, well, it's the mascot for Colby. That's why he picked it. I really like. I like the idea of this kind of prankster war we got here. I know there's no prankster on Purple's team, but you got to watch out for that Gale Wings.
Sure, but there's some boosted priority stuff going on for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. But specifically, booster. Sorry, not booster. Gale Wings is going to outspeed the Sableye on the first turn, so I'm expecting to see maybe a Terra Ghost on the Talonflame to preserve that Gale Wings from any fake out or feint shenanigans, or like a Mach Punch to break the Gale Wings. That would normally allow Sableye to go first after that, but I think Purple definitely wants to prioritize getting off either his Tailwind or just a fat Brave Bird into like something like the Conkeldurr on the first turn, or even the Jumpluff, just to get some big damage off first. But winning that speed war could definitely serve important here. But then again, you've got Electric with the Prankster Quash, which might not care about speed, and Purple's team is bulky enough to where if he doesn't manage to win the speed war, I don't think he's too upset about it. So it'll be an interesting chess match between these two squads.
Mach Punch going after Gale Wings. True, because
that's true.
Because Talonflame is also just super fast. It's going to be going first in that
good point.
Priority bracket as well.
So it would just be fake out and feint you're worried about.
Yeah, for the most part, to break that Gale Wings, and then
and I know when I ran
that quite nicely.
When I ran Talonflame, I was pretty much always running Terra Ghost because most teams had one of those things, and it's just too important to utilize to get that move off with the Gale Wings when you're leading Talonflame. So it's not really worth running the Cloak because you might not flinch, but you're also not going first anymore. So I feel like Terra Ghost is a good option a lot of the time. This Tinglu, we're gonna see. A lot of people had some bad things to say about Tinglu this season. They were maybe saying it wasn't as good as advertised. It's not good anymore. But Purple obviously had some success with it. We're gonna see if it comes into play this match. Lower that special attack, the Landorus, the Charizard, the Toxtricity. Could be pretty good.
Yeah, definitely agree. Well, we've got about 1 million matches to watch, so let's go ahead and get this first one fired up here. We got game 1. We got Electric on the home team side here, and Purple batting away. So
make sure you turn the music off.
Good call.
We don't want to destroy any eardrums here.
Good call. Hopefully, I'll just remember to click play sound off most of the time, but it's always good to be reminded. So who we got here? We got both of our priority users. Electric with just all the fast stuff, right? We got the
All the fast power.
Basculesian, potentially swift swimming.
Hmm.
Couple different weathers to potentially take advantage of here between Charizard loving the sun and
Yep.
the Sandseer Storm and Swift Swim here.
Yeah, it's worth noting that Basculesian has a really good offensive matchup here. The Tinglu is not going to want to eat the water attacks, nor will the Talonflame. The Metagross won't like eating those last respects. So there's a lot of stuff going on. This is the male version, right? Basculesian? Or is it female?
Electric wants to know what we think are the sets after turn 1. All right, so keep that in mind, I guess. But let's go ahead and fire this up here.
Sure.
All right, so after turn 1, so we'll let turn 1 play out here. We get the Intimidate. We get a switch in. Terrifier, Sunny Day.
All out power. Ooh. Big damage. Don't even see the Thermal Exchange activate on the Baxcalibur. It just dies through the neutral hit.
True, so Thermal Exchange makes it half as effective, or just no burns?
No, it's just no burn, and it boosts your attack if you get hit. So it doesn't actually do anything to the resist, or it doesn't give you any additional resist. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that the Charizard is likely. I mean, it's solar power, right? No, it's not solar power because we didn't.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we did see it.
I paused just a little ahead. Okay, so
probably Specs maybe to kill it. I mean, it is solar power boosted with Sun, so it might not be Specs.
Yeah. We didn't see a life orb, so
I mean it did do. I mean Quillfish is pretty bulky and has a resist, so it did more than half. So that's a lot of damage. He opts to switch it out for the next turn as well, after taking that -1 speed boost. Maybe he was scared of losing the losing the Charizard that turn. Wanted to preserve it for later. So this is interesting here though, because we have an Icy Wind Quillfish could be scarfed. Did we see it go first or before or after? It went after the Charizard, so probably not scarfed.
Yeah, it went second. Electric always does this like constant testing. There's another item we learned that turn. But
well, I guess we'll find out when we look at the pace.
I believe you, but
all right, let's see what happens next here.
So we've got the Quillfish. Icy Winding. Oh, this could be a scarf. This could be a Scarf Icy Wind, perhaps.
Maybe it's Scarf for Scarf.
Yeah, double Scarfed or something like that.
Yeah, definitely could be.
Double Weather. I love this.
Whoa.
Love this. Wow.
So the Quillfish is not Scarfed because it just clicked Waterfall as opposed to the Icy Wind.
True.
And we can see the Bullet Punch go out from the Metagross. Such a great move. Weakness. Wait, was that a? Hold on. Did I miss something here? Weakness policy?
And
how is that activated?
Weakness policy.
Was it self-procced or no?
Wait, what did?
I feel like I just missed that. Hold on.
Oh, it was the foul play into it. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So weakness policy. Maybe he has like a bulldoze or something. Bulldoze on Tinglu probably.
Yeah, it could be. Icy Wind, Waterfall, Aqua Jet. Yeah. So we see another priority move here. Big damage in the rain there, but
interesting position here because you do have a really powerful Charizard here because he could set Sun now, but you also have powerful priority on the Metagross with the Bullet Punch with +2, although probably doesn't kill Charizard.
Even resisted still does. Yeah.
Wow, that's the power of the weakness policy, right?
So I feel like maybe we want to. Well, got both hits anyway. I was going to say, maybe we want to set the rain again here just to hit those Sandseer Storms.
Apparently.
And Weather Ball
not
for
needed.
Huge damage there to finish it off. And Electric closes out game 1 pretty convincingly, I'd say. Sableye just proven that Prankster's great. And when you're this good, you can have terrible stats as long as your moves are good.
And that's also the problem. That's what's great about pranksters too, is like if you don't want to be hitting the prankster, right? Because you want to be hitting the powerful thing that's going to take advantage of the prankster moves. But when you leave it on the field, you're letting it do what it wants, and it doesn't care about those speed drops from the Icy Wind. It got to click like 3 different weathers and foul play, and it didn't even take half damage, even though it's like one of the frailest things on the field here. in the game. So that's the power of a powerful prankster when you have big power next to it.
So
Well done.
If I'm purple and I have taunt on my team, I want to shut this Sableye down because it just made everything so much easier for electric.
Yeah, I also think in a situation like this, having the speed advantage would go a long way. So maybe instead of opting for the icy win, maybe we see the Talonflame come in game 2 here.
Something like
You
that.
probably, and you also
likely.
got information because now you know that the Sableye is running 2 weathers and foul play, so you're not as
Citrus
worried
Berry.
as like
it's like a bulky Sableye, so no sash and no mental herb.
You're not as worried about any fake out obviously could be the last move, but it can't be everything. So you're not as worried as quash, taunt. You definitely have more information to play around here. So I'm interested to see the adjustments. Let's see what we got.
Yeah. Let's get this second game going here. So we got Weavile and the Basket Legion, and then the same lead from purple. Just attacking into the Metagross there. Attacking into the Quillfish.
Bulky Metagross.
Knock off the Assault Vest on the Quillfish, as opposed to Eviolite. That's interesting, because what benefit would you be getting? Oh, because this Quillfish does not get Eviolite. The other one does. Right.
It's the Galar version?
Yeah, this is the...
Or Hisui version.
Hisui
one gets it,
can use Eviolite. I was going to say, why would you run Assault Vest when you could run Eviolite and get your defense on both sides with no downside? But
I'm actually pretty impressed at how bulky the Metagross is. Really bulky with the physical defense. I mean, he does have an Intimidate too on the Basket Legion, which helped with the damage output a little bit. But that thing's going to be a menace if he can get that weakness policy off and start hitting some bullet punches here. Let's see if he could bait electric into proccing it.
Flipping out, Talonflame comes in. Big Psychic Fangs damage is pretty nice. Yeah, so break the... Yeah, there we go. So we do have a feint there to break the Gale Wings. You're going to trade Talonflame for Basket Legion, but, I mean, electric basically just has all the fastest stuff now, right?
Yeah, this is tough. This is a tough position to lose your prankster like that.
Get rid of that. Steel typing is nice.
Yeah, but do we see a Weavile sunny day here too? Did he double down on weather? No.
It's a possibility. That would be pretty awesome.
Okay, so he opts for the single target overheat.
Everybody attacking into protects here.
Nice switch from purple. I like it. Lowers the attack a little bit. Also is going to bait out a fire attack potentially into that slot. Unless he opts to go for the Metagross instead.
Bummer little triple axle 3 hits ever because of that double intimidate.
That's right.
Would have been 25. Would have been 50%. Would have not quite if it hadn't been double intimidated. Not quite killed, but
wow, and it kills anyway.
That.
So this is an interesting spot because now you're locked into a Charizard that's -2, and I think we can decide at this point this thing is scarfed. So it's going to have to keep clicking overheat. I'm wondering if the -2 overheat will kill the Metagross here. If it does, he could be in trouble. We might see the Bullet Punch come out just to get an attack off before it comes.
So if it's scarfed, it's like a bulky, modest scarf, because the Weavile is still going first.
So maybe it's not scarfed. We haven't decided the item yet.
Yeah, we still maybe haven't decided. And we're still not going to find out because of all this priority. But
wow, what a protect.
Doubled into it.
Yeah, it's almost certainly choiced. And he's got purple in rough shape here. Although the Ice Shard does a lot. And this
we're into a 1v1, and the Charizard is at -4 now.
And then you get the attack boost. I think a Glaive Rush just kills at +2. Earthquake
does it as well.
Okay, so he reveals. All right, we're going to a game 3.
So it is specs. Electric confirming specs.
So this is what I want to highlight there is this is one of the downsides of having a Landorus either form in draft is that if you have any strong Mon with an ice move and you don't preserve the Terra for the Lando, you just find yourself in a position to just die to it. Like that thing died to an Ice Shard from the Baxcalibur, and that was what turned the tide in that game.
I mean, it is stab 4 times super effective life orb.
Absolutely.
So like that's why you bring your Ice Shards, because it's
true. But even when you don't have a Baxcalibur, you run it. If you have a Lando, you're running into random ice beams that you don't expect. So you're always cautious about bringing that out and not using the Terra. So purple really turned that around with a well-timed Ice Shard into the Lando, and obviously locking in the Charizard there to that minus boost and the overheat was a game winner for him as well. So good job.
the double protect failing there on that previous turn as well, with the Landorus. If that had succeeded, then Electric is still in a 2v1 on the next turn, and Baxcalibur can't kill both of them, right? Even at ×2 with an Earthquake, because the Landorus is flying.
It's immune,
So, yeah.
All right, let's see the game 3. This could go either way. I wonder if we
Definitely.
finally see that Talonflame again. Oh, we did see it, but maybe we see
Yeah,
a
we
Terragosa
did see it, but
strike.
it kind of just got fainted and then put to sleep.
Yeah, maybe we see the Sableye come back for
knocked
Electric
out.
since it works so well game 1.
But
right, let's
the
see.
counter adjustment also great, right? We were like, if Talonflame is useful, Talonflame's got to come in this game too, and we just had the Weavile there to handle the
Counter that,
Talonflame.
yeah.
So
It's the metagaming
what's up.
between these two excellent coaches. We see
Yeah,
the Sableye
so-
come back.
Sableye lead, and we got the Talonflame. Ooh, Terra Fire. So we're gonna see a sunny day, and rain for
For the accuracy. So I like the double protect because that tells me that purple was afraid of fake out, right? So if he doesn't have Terra Ghost on Talonflame, you want to be clicking double protect because this turn is so crucial for him to get his move off on Talonflame, which is likely going to be a Tailwind. So he wants to make sure that the fake out's not coming into that slot and canceling it, letting him get O-code by a Rock Slide or a Power Gem or whatever Lando
Yeah,
has.
something
I'm
like
not really
that.
sure. Yeah.
We've seen Sandstorm Storm protect Weather Ball, and we might have seen a fourth move as well. I don't know. I've been closing the matches after we watch them, so they're not up anymore. But potentially probably not going to set the Sun and then a Fire type Weather Ball here.
There's the speed control coming out.
Yeah, into the protect. Foul
Ooh,
play,
big damage.
But I
Big
mean,
damage.
immediately, turn off that Glaive Rush. Nice switch to keep everything healthy. Earthquake next to your flying type, classic. Sableye with a KO, just straight up,
Yep.
2-shot. Foul play, you dead. Great
Nice switch.
switches from Electric here in this third game. Just
Absolutely. And once again,
preserving
Sableye's
resources.
just sitting there doing chip damage, right?
Just-
At some
yeah,
point,
being
Purple's
annoying.
going to have to prioritize taking it out. But it's so hard to justify when you have these powerful attackers sitting next to it. It's like, how do you spend a turn attacking the Sableye?
really great job just burning through that whole tailwind, right? Never letting the weather go down, just keeping up some pressure, some good switches, some timely protects. We do get the Intimidate back in here, and a big wave crash even at -1. Just barely living the Psychic Fangs there.
He's just alternating weather here. The Sableye. I love it.
Yeah.
It's rain dance one turn, and then it's sunny day.
And then sun the next. Yep. So we got at least one more turn here. We're going to keep the Weather Ball into the
Great
protect.
protect.
Keep the sun up for Weather Balls, or switch to rain. I think this is likely the last turn with... Nope. Just, into the protect there. Foul play. Sableye doing tons of damage, and we're just going to keep switching.
Speed advantage is going to be huge for Purple here, though. I'm not sure if Electric can get through this endgame.
Yeah, just
without
maybe
advantage.
not enough offense left. I mean, I guess it's Metagross and Quillfish, which is not... Like, Metagross is very scary, but Quillfish is kind of medium, especially in the sun that's around for another turn or so.
Sandseer will do a lot here, though.
Yeah, and it is Terra Fire. If they can hit both... Whew.
Let's see what Metagross has. Oh, no.
Whoa.
might do it.
Lives the bullet punch.
Wow.
All right. And
Now that
Sludge
is
Bomb
a close set.
there at the end
Very
as the
nice.
most accurate attack, only useful because it tear it into Dark type. Wow, what a set to start
wow.
on. Started with that set because they were the first ones to send him in, but lucked into a good fun set to watch. Well done to Electric, and also very
set.
well played to Purple. Great adjustments in game 2, and then Electric just kind of got the better of Purple with the switches there, for
Both
the
coaches did such a great job
that third game.
preserving their Pokemon in that last game. I mean, we were on like turn 10 and each side still had 3 Pokemon or something like that. It really only got crazy at the end. And like I said, that Sableye doing the chip damage uncontested there. I think at some point maybe we needed to see one of those powerful attacks that went into
Chip
that
damage,
second
nothing.
slot.
It just two-shotted the Baxcalibur.
I know, and it was chipping down the
Yeah.
Talonflame. Well, yeah, I guess that's more than chip, right?
Yeah.
If it's doing like 45%.
Yeah,
At that point, it's an offensive threat.
Yeah, yeah. When you
Wow.
bring a bunch of scary physical attackers, foul play becomes a pretty obvious choice, right?
And that's such a
And,
great bring into Purple's team, which features all those physical attackers next to that Tinglu, who we didn't actually see in this set either.
Awesome. All right, let's take a look at these pastes here.
Yeah, let's see. So it's probably specs on the Charizard, I'm gonna guess.
So yeah, we have a Scarf Basculegion, which we basically never caught on to. There is that specs. The Conkeldurr never came, but the other 5 all did. Got the Life Orb that we saw, Citrus Berry, Sash, pretty reasonable there on the Weavile. Anything we never saw, we never actually saw Fake Out, but that was the 4th move
there.
on the Sableye.
I'll tell you what, that it takes a lot of discipline too on that turn 1 to not fake out the Talonflame in game 3. To know that, okay, I can negate this Gale Wings, but instead to opt to set the weather and set you up for that advantage definitely helped out Electric.
A Terra Flying that we never saw.
I want to see what this Tinglu was packing over here that we didn't see with the Earthworm. Had to be a Bulldoze to activate the Metagross, right? Yeah, Bulldoze with the clear body is a classic. We didn't end up seeing that combo. Maybe, Purple just didn't opt for the Tinglu, scared of that rain mode with the rain boosted Basculegion potentially just doing big damage to the Tinglu. But really well played by both coaches. I mean, that's obviously a high level that we were witnessing.
Yeah, so we did have the Terra Ghost there with the Sash like we were talking about. We did see the Hurricane come out in that game 3 there. So we are seeing the special Talonflame there.
Big damage to the Charizard it did.
Covert Cloak on the Earthworm never came though. We saw the same.
Probably also for Bulldoze.
3 games.
The Covert Cloak.
Yeah, totally. Or well, except doesn't Earth Eater just negate all that anyway?
Well, I think it would negate the damage, but probably still apply the speed drop.
I don't know. That's something that I would forget to
I'm not
test
sure.
and then get the bad end of in the actual match or something, probably.
All right. Very well played to both coaches, and congrats to Electric, who's moving on to round 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's keep the ball rolling here. Let's move on to the next match.
Down. All right, we got Colby versus Firefalls. We got Firefalls in the chat here. Earthworm came game 1. Did it? Oh, I think it got 1 shot or like on a switch in or something like that.
Yeah, maybe that was what died to the Charizard Heat Wave.
Yeah, it doesn't
get speed dropped. Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about, so don't listen to me.
All right, so we got Colby and Firefalls here. Another 0-3 to 4-3 in Firefalls here, who had a fun, cool team. I like the Goth Annihilate Moltres. I love those bulky, just sit around and do a bunch of stuff attackers. The wheezing was a real problem for me. This is another player that beat me. And
yeah, I also didn't play either of these coaches.
Yeah, versus the undefeated Colby.
Undefeated Kodameron's definitely the team to watch in this matchup. Probably the favorite, given they haven't lost a single set the whole season. They're probably going to be favored in most matches going forward, but they got to get through Firefalls first, and Firefalls definitely has a lot of tools to play with. As you mentioned, the Annihilate, Gothitelle, and Moltres is a really cool core. You've got a sneaky little Perish Trap mode with the Murkrow and the Gothitelle. You got the Wheezing there to negate any abilities, which could be relevant, considering we've got some interesting abilities on the other team. But yeah, I really like Colby's.
Gonna be really nice here in this matchup. Just bulky, can sit on the field with a lot of these other bulky monsters, and send those big fairy type Moonblasts back into all these fairy weak Pokemon. Looking at the matchups, Hearthflame doesn't seem super great. I mean, Follow Me is always nice, right? But just seems, like it's offensive. This is the most offensive of them, and like other than like hitting some good stuff for neutral, you're mostly not getting the heavy hitters with your stabs. Kilowattrel being the fastest thing around, and I mean, with the exception of the Prankster Murkrow, but fast enough to still outspeed some of these slower mons even after a Tailwind potentially. Could be pretty nice.
Yeah, the Primarina seems like the star here this week, right? It's like really hard for Firefalls to enable the Annihilate and the Moltres to do what they want to do, while also dealing with the Primarina. So I think the Primarina is going to be a prime offensive option for Colby here. If he can get it to live a hit and get off a Moonblast or a Dazzling Gleam or something like that, then he could definitely do big damage to either Annihilate or Moltres and just derail Firefall's game plan. It's just going to be a matter of positioning it in the right way. Like, you definitely have a Trick Room option to go against a team that wants to be running Murkrow with Prankster, but also you could mirror the Tailwind as well if you run like a Sash on the Kilowattrel and just set it on the same turn, right? And then
exactly.
you get a lot of ways to play around with the speed here.
Yeah, we do have a lot of like mirrors as well, right? We've got the Grookey and the Thwackey. We've got the Gothorita and the Gothitelle. Electric is pointing out there is only the one fire resist, but these bulky mons can take neutral hits pretty well.
Don't underestimate the Hearthflame though. I mean, a neutral hit from Hearthflame is
probably
doing over 50% for sure. I mean, with the attack boost you get plus the Terra boost, it's really insane damage output. So we'll definitely see it, and we'll probably see it Terra in this matchup. But will it be enough? Let's find out.
Yeah, I agreeing with Heaven. Primarina doesn't super want to look, stare down Thwackey and Bramblegast, but if Firefalls is bringing Thwackey and Bramblegast, then I think Colby overall is pretty happy with that.
And then right? Hearthflame's having a great time, isn't it?
Yeah, Hearthflame looks a lot better. Kilowattrel potentially. Gudra becomes invincible because what are they going to do to damage Hisui and Gudra? But all right, let's get these battles back up here. All right, so what do we got? We do see the Grookey, no Thwackey though. Plus hole on Firefall's side here.
Wow, and Dreadnought.
No Gothitelle on Firefall's side.
No baby Gothitelle either.
Yeah, we
does that mean we're not seeing any Perish Trap? No.
Yeah, seems like not. But
I'm very interested to see what this Plusle's got going on here. Do we see it hit the field in a playoff match? Time will tell.
Perhaps, but I don't know. I mean, he didn't bring it for no reason.
Anything could work.
Yeah, right. It gets fake out, right? So
it's like VBL has taught me it's like Ratatouille. It's like anyone can cook.
Yeah.
Any mon can cook in a Pokemon match. Ever since I watched Steve bring Shellos to like playoff matches and like sweep, I'm like, all right, you know what? Anything could work. Any mon can cook. Call me Ratatouille. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it a little bit. Let's see.
Let's see this here. So we're probably got some Grassy Glide coming out. Just gonna try to.
Dreadnought is not the mon you want to lead into that.
That's not who you want to lead into.
Have to see a switch or a Terra here because it's gonna get deleted from the game by a Grassy Glide on either mon probably with the 4x weakness.
Or a double, or fake out here and then Grassy Glide or something like that. Yeah, that's just scary.
Protect works too.
There we go. Yep, fake out. Rain Dance here. Oh, and Colby just says, I know what you're going to try and do, so I'm going to get my free boost here.
Yep. Terra Grass is a good option here.
Rain Dance, unexpected, I would say. Nice switch from Colby, though. Takes that double up.
Primarina taking big damage already. Speed control comes out. Wow.
Ooh, just living
big
it. Big
damage.
Primarina gone. Ivy Cudgel trades. But that's not the trade that Colby wants, I think.
So you could pause here for a sec.
Yeah.
This is a problem for Colby because not only does he not have the speed advantage, but you want to be clicking Grassy Glide, and look at all the mons he brought. He brought 2 flying. We didn't see the Moltres yet. But he has a flying
Terra
type.
Grass. Yeah.
And grass on the Bramblegast. So this is not what you want to see. Luckily, he does have the Kilowattrel here, so I think we're gonna see. We see the spiky shield here. We're probably gonna see a protect and trying to get the tailwind up to match. I'm not sure what the speeds are looking like on Brambleghast versus Hearthflame. I'm not sure who has the speed advantage there.
So looks like
Hearthflame.
Hearthflame, is going to be faster.
So this will be an important turn
Given-
to see if he can get off the tailwind to match. If he can, he could almost certainly take out another KO before this Kylo Ren goes down here.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, if this protect got called and it's just a double into the Kilowattrel, this could just be over for Colby
Could be, for sure.
in this first game here. But let's see.
We see one.
There's one. Yep.
Brings it
Takes
down to
Sash. And
Oh,
Firefalls
he's
does
gonna let
put the damage.
Tailwind go up.
Get the
All right.
Tailwind up. Okay, so
Keeps it interesting.
very, very fragile, right, at one, essentially at one, is a Grookey. Very frail poke, like stiff breezes, like maybe from a Wind Rider Brambleghast or a Hurricane, can kill basically all these Pokemon. So Colby's going to have to go KO, KO, KO here to finish this off.
That is true. This is a problem. And it's hard to click Ivy Cudgel into the slot on the Brambleghast too, because if he protects, you just lose the game, right? So like the Murkrow is tempting because you think it probably doesn't have protect, but do you really want to let Brambleghast get another KO here? I'm not sure you do.
I'm not sure here either. So Terra, extra, even more attack.
Wow,
We
brings
see
it down
the
to Sash.
Sash. And
Wow, and we see the priority anyway on the Brambleghast, which is probably why we saw Colby opt for the Grassy Glide instead, maybe predicting a Shadow Sneak coming in. I don't think Grookey's got the goods to end this one. So
not
we
a
might be seeing game
3v1.
one.
And
Go to Firefalls.
whoa.
Excellently played.
Wow, that has to be just how Firefalls drew it up, right? Like,
Yeah, I think that the grassy terrain thing looks really good on paper into the team, but with the Mons Firefalls brought, it did not end up having the juice to get it done.
whoa, that was a commanding performance for Firefalls
I think
in that first game.
Part of the issue from
Wow.
Colby was that we didn't get to see Primarina put into a position to do anything because it took 70% on a switch in, right? And
Yeah.
what did he preserve by switching it? He preserved a Grookey, and he had a Kilowattrel on the back. So it was just a little bit of a passive game plan outside of the Ivy Cudgel from the
whereas
game.
maybe you let your Grookey go down, and then you get your Kilowattrel in a turn earlier.
right, and
get
then you
your
have
Tailwind set
Primarina
up.
in the back with Tailwind.
Yeah, get your
you could do
Tailwind
more.
set up on the turn, like a turn earlier, so that the Hearthflame isn't taking 90 whatever percent, and things.
But I think
things
we're
look a
gonna
lot
see.
different, but-
I think we're gonna see a different game plan here from Colby in game 2. He's gonna try to answer back. He picked up a lot of information. We know the Brambleghast has Sash now, which is gonna be relevant.
And this Cleaver looking pretty good, right? Weak to rock, weak to bug. Terra's into weak to bug.
Absolutely. And that was a great Terra, by the way, on the Dreadnought. Perfect for what he needed in that moment. Well done. Let's see how the adjustment comes in here.
What do we got? All right, so we're leading. Yep, we're leading the Cleaver there. And
Really like this lead.
birds from both players. Rain Dance, Rock Slide, Swift Swim.
Such massive
Oh, the
damage.
flinch
Oh,
is
no.
rough. Oh, but the Cleaver setting Tailwind is pretty. That didn't even
great.
occur to me. Of course,
Yeah,
it's still
that's-
because it's Scyther.
Potentially game losing if it was the Kilowattrel clicking Tailwind there and he doesn't get it off. The fact that he actually has the speed advantage here. We're probably going to see the Murkrow match with a Tailwind of their own, and with the
Yep,
Swift
and
Swim,
then
we're going to
the
see
Swift
Dreadnought
Swim.
still going
A
first,
miss? No.
which is not good.
Whoa.
This Dreadnought is a menace.
Turtle mode. Saving it for playoffs.
Wow.
Just an absolute menace there. Wow.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, there are Pokemon that can do it. And Hearthflame is one of them, right? But like, this is a 4v1 in the rain.
Not going to happen.
It seems
Unfortunately.
unlikely.
Yeah. Not to mention the
But
Dreadnought's
that's
still going first.
well,
Thanks to
I mean,
that
that's
Swift
how we
Swim.
started, right? That's how we started.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the Murkrow providing speed control here, there's no real situation where this is going to end well
Living
for our 1v4.
due to the rain there.
Confusion is just, icing on the cake there. from a really well
Wow.
prepped set from Firefalls. Turns out the Dreadnought was the perfect answer to this Colby lead, and we see Firefalls, a true underdog, take down a Titan in round 1.
Wowzers. Excellently done. Yeah, definitely the underdog there going into the set and just crushed Colby.
You know, this is one of those things in VBL. We keep seeing these rookies come in with little VGC experience and
Oh,
just
it's
making
infuriating. I
runs.
hate it so much.
It's every season now. I feel like we have a new rookie that's just like about to win the league. So maybe Firefalls will be next up, but it's certainly an impressive showing in round 1 versus a very skilled opponent in Colby, who also, definitely played well. I really like the idea of the Grookey with the grassy glide. It just happened that Firefalls brought the perfect answer with all those grass resists and the
Yeah.
grass terra on the one mon that it was meant to target on that turn. So really well done.
Wowzers. All right. Let's go ahead and get the pastes up here. So we saw the Eviolite, we saw the Focus Sash. Love this. No item cleaver as Poltergeist tech.
Cool.
And
That's
just
cool.
targeted the Kilowattrel instead. Love that.
We did see the Scarf on the Espeon because it outsped the Dreadnought with
Yes.
Swift Swim
With the
and Tailwind, I think, or something. So that might have been some tech specifically for outspeeding Tailwind mons. But I'm sure the Espeon was more designed as a counter to the Annihilate, who we didn't actually see in the set. Turned out all Firefalls really needed was that Dreadnought and the Murkrow.
Yeah. I think we were very high on the Dreadnought in that set, but Murkrow has definitely, I think, been the MVP of Firefall's team over this season. Just super reliable tailwinds, rain dance, like it brought lots of good weathers, right? I mean, it's just Prankster's great, and the good
Guys,
Pranksters.
get yourself a Prankster. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's it makes the game easier. Having the ability to pick status moves that go first, set speed control for your team, set weather for your team. Try it out. Get a Prankster. They're really good. As we see, we have one on like every team in this playoffs.
Yeah,
Or at least in every matchup.
So what did we have here? Mental Herb, Thunder, Fake Tears, Rain Dance, Helping Hand with the Lightning Rod.
Somebody cooked with that one.
Never saw Annihilate this time. We just saw the...
And we saw the
these
Bramble Gas
four.
really effective with that Wind Rider, getting the Poltergeist off, really powerful. Poltergeist did so much for these physical ghost types. It really made them a lot more viable.
Made them good again, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other fun stuff here? I mean, the two best friends, two great tastes that go great together. Galarian Moltres and a Citrus Berry. My best duo of last season.
Like bread and butter.
Absolutely. Alrighty, let's get our next matchup here. We got
It's
Keith and you. Alright, so the purple team versus the Chi-Yu team.
Yeah, I definitely drafted this purple team on purpose. It was all purple. That was the idea from the start. I had no other plans. Yeah, so Keith selected me for the playoffs, and I was not too happy about it because who wants to play against Chi-Yu in the first round of playoffs? I'll give you the answer. It's nobody.
I mean, who
It's
wants
nobody.
to play against Chi-Yu?
Ever. No,
It's
nobody does.
it's
And not
just
to mention,
such a reliable draft Pokemon.
you have to not only account for the Chi-Yu's damage output, but an Iron Bundles and a Comfy's next to a Chi-Yu. And the Comfy's getting that priority with the Draining Kiss and all the healing moves, Giga Drain. This was tough. I mean, I really had my work cut out for me. My assessment of the team was that it's a lot of special attackers. I wasn't too worried about like the Berserker, Metacam, Mudsdale as far as physical damage output, so my main objective was going to be to stop any special damage coming in. I
Sure.
think for Keith, obviously looking at this matchup, I mean, you have to be looking at the Prankster Screens mode. You have to be looking at potential speed control setup, whether it be the Gengar with an Icy Wind or the Articuno with a Tailwind or Trick Room. The Gouging Fire with the ability to burn, which is much less relevant when you are playing a team of just special attackers. So, yeah, this was an interesting matchup. I had my work cut out for me on prep, and I guess time will tell. Well, I guess we're about to see how it all went down. Do
Yeah,
you have any other thoughts on this?
I mean, just looking at all this, Grimmsnarl has to be the first Pokemon you put on your team when you were team building this week, right? I mean, the screens turn Chi-Yu into not nearly as big of a deal.
When I draft Pranksters,
letting you go faster than these booster speed Iron Bundle nonsense.
Typically, Pranksters are a staple of my teams, and they typically come almost every week to do supportive things. So that was certainly part of the plan. I think we'll be seeing the Grimmsnarl a little bit in this match.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. All right, let's get this battle up. I'm gonna try and cook through these a little quicker than we have been, just because we still have 12 more battles to watch or something like that. 15, I don't know, 1, 2,
That's
3,
light
4,
work.
5,
We
6,
got
7,
this.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more battles.
All right, let's go. Let's get into it.
All right. So, we've got the Grimmsnarl there. We've got your Virizion. What's it called? Iron Leaves.
Iron Leaves.
Iron Leaves.
Pretty good mon.
Yeah.
Don't sleep. I like Iron Leaves. It was just sitting there. I had to make a change. My team is very flawed in a lot of ways, but the Iron Leaves definitely helped me out this season, and it made a comeback for me in a lot of ways. So we'll see how it played out here.
Who do we not have from Keith here? No.
We didn't see either fake out option or Trick Room Setter in the Metacam or the Berserker, respectively.
Oh yeah, no Metacham, no Berserker, no Skuntank.
We see the Decidueye, which was not necessarily something I was planning hard for.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, let's get this going here. What do we got? We got Comfy and Zapdos. And yeah, we got the Duraludon and the Grimmsnarl. Woof. Huge damn. Helping Hand, offensive Draining Kiss.
Terra Fairy. This scared the crap out of me because I did not count this at all. I know I live on 1%, almost certainly a roll that I got lucky on. This was great prep just to say, okay, you know what? Yeah, you have Prankster Grimmsnarl. Let me just delete that from the game.
Let me just triple Prankster you with Triage.
Yeah, I guess I had just enough special defense investment to make this a roll that I lived, which is pretty fortunate, and it lets me get my light screen off. But really cool prep.
Wow. Scary turn one. You just don't think, you don't see it that way.
Not what I was expecting.
Yeah, and so a trade that Keith is maybe not super happy with, but that's still, pretty brutal, right? Fake Tears is nice. The Grimmsnarl is going to go down. Big damage into the Zapdos there at -2. Terra Water I like. We're going to get paralyzed. Just keep throwing out scary Thunderbolts. But into a double protect, so Zapdos getting that Thunder Wave kind of for free there. And these staminas are maybe going to be annoying for what we see you have left so far. Less maybe you've got that Inteleon in the back as your fourth. But
Paralyzed, pretty unfortunate here on both my mons. I actually doubled the Mudsdale on this turn.
Whoa. Oh, you really?
Would have been big.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah, definitely.
I had a Leaf Blade and a Draco going into it, which might have
especially if you
really
crit,
low.
Right? If you crit on the Leaf Blade.
Yeah.
Leaf Blade's a high crit move, right?
Yeah, it is. But even at the +1 defense, it would have done a lot of damage.
So.
As you can see.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, still doing 50%. And yeah, this Chi-Yu just getting to sit here for a while, and we've got Gouging Fire is your fourth. Doesn't feel super great here for the Fire Dragon.
No.
But not out of it yet. Dragon Dance, interesting. But yeah, maybe a little too greedy in the 2v1 there to end it on a Dragon Dance. But
I would have never had the damage to get through the Mudsdale when it was +2 unless I somehow boosted up.
Unless you're boosting.
So it was pretty much over at that point. But really well played by Keith, because I will say after the turn 1 I was feeling pretty good, given that he burned Terra and I was able to keep the Grimmsnarl alive, get my move off, and take a KO. Seemed like a really good turn 1, but those Thunder Waves, the Zapdos turned out to be a menace in that game with the helping hands to boost the damage, the Thunder Waves, which ended up causing some big paras, which allowed Keith to get the win. So really well played and well adjusted by Keith.
Yeah, beefy Chi-Yu too here, with it being a 3-hit KO there.
Yeah, beefy Chi-Yu for sure.
To Dragon Claw. Wow. All right, next game here. So, what adjustments do we think we're going to make? Based on that, I think the Inteleon feels pretty good. But, Keith, I mean, the Zapdos was scary, so maybe it's not, like, perfect. I mean, it gets some ice coverage and stuff like that. It has to come.
You're absolutely correct.
But
I got to bring the Inteleon to deal with the Mudsdale. So, we definitely will be seeing it here.
Yeah. Whereas Keith kind of just has to be like, well, maybe my sneaky turn 1, maybe I get the roll a little better this time. Maybe not, but regardless. Ooh, almost just played the sound on. Oof, that would have been terrible. All right, so we're a slightly different lead here. Yep, and we do see the Inteleon in the lead. And we're just going to try and get the Decidueye dead. We get a -1 onto the Zapdos there, and I assume like an electric attack coming here on the... Oh, just Thunder Waves. Just Thunder Waves. So, water type Zapdos here. It's going to be at -2 now. Probably throwing out another Thunder Wave, I would think. But nicely done. Not falling for any Protect nonsense. Nope. There goes there goes the Inteleon.
The Terra was massive there because my idea was that the Icy Wind would pick up the Zapdos, but since the Terra watered, he gets another turn off with it.
Huge damage there. Do we have a Dazzling Gleam here to clean both of them up at once? Nope.
No. I meant to Terra the Iron Leaves this turn and I forgot as well, which was not good.
Huge damage there. So you are again in a 1v2, and who do we have in the back there? We've got Duraludon as our 4th. Terra Fairy, I like that. You got probably nothing super effective out of the... Yep, there we go, and we're going to game 3. So nicely adjusted.
That endgame was pretty lucky that the Flash Cannon only kills because of Beads of Ruin. Otherwise, he probably gets a body press off.
Oh, really?
Duraludon, which, if the Heat Wave connected, might have just taken me out. I'm not really sure what the calc would have been there, but the Flash Cannon definitely needed the Beads of Ruin to take out the Mudsdale there. And luckily, since I think at this point I knew the Mudsdale was Assault Vest, so I knew it couldn't protect, so I just had to make that play. Luckily, I hit the Draco as well, and we're going to a game 3.
Awesome. All right, so now it's kind of on Keith to adjust a little bit. We did see some adjustment, right? The Decidueye came in, possibly predicting the Inteleon to come as well. The Comfey not making an appearance in that second game. Still haven't seen the Iron Bundle, and I mean, it's fast. It's the fastest thing around if it wants to be, and it can slow everything down with an Icy Wind, or it can just roll the dice and kill something 85% of the time with a Hydro Pump. But awesome game 2. Excited to watch a game 3 here. What do we got? All right, so the Inteleon and the Grimmsnarl, Terra Ghost.
I made a fatal mistake here.
Vacuum Wave. Whoa.
So this was just me being dumb and forgetting that Vacuum Wave would go before Fake Tears. The idea was that I get a Fake Tears and then a Vacuum Wave and I just kill Bundle.
And just not got to mention backwards.
And it's funny because the Terra Ghost was designed to prevent a Fake Out, and it in turn screwed me out of my Vacuum Wave plan. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, this was a disaster.
Yeah, that's a rough turn 1 there.
I obviously just don't understand how... I have trouble understanding, speed wars with pranksters versus non-pranksters with priority moves. I always get it mixed up. So that was pretty rough. Not putting me in a good spot here.
Oof. Yeah,
and now I'm encored into Fake Tears.
Which is not terrible, right? That's a thing that Grimsnarl would like to
listen.
click multiple times,
Yeah,
but
I
not
toyed with
really in
keeping it
this
in.
situation. Yeah.
I toyed with keeping it in to keep clicking fake tears, but I just didn't want to find myself in an end game where I was locked into fake tears and I couldn't switch it with like
Yeah.
Iron Leaves next to it. So I
Yeah.
felt like I had to switch it.
I think if your fourth Mon, like if your Mon in the back instead of being Iron Leaves is Gengar, you're much more likely to just stay in and keep fake tearsing, because Shadow Ball can just kill everything at that point. Well, except the Chiyu, but
Right.
I mean, nothing's perfect.
At this point, the wall is stacked against me for sure. This is a tough spot because I'm also thinking, okay, well, if the Iron Bundle's Terra Ghost, that means it's probably not Covert Cloak, which means it's probably Sashed, which means I have to hit it twice to kill it.
Yeah.
And I have no screen up because I opted for a Fake Tears the first turn.
So we do get the Iron Bundle dead, but your Duraludon is in rough shape there.
Yeah.
After taking the Ice Beam and the Thunderbolt.
And since I Terra Watered to dodge the Ice attack, I'm now weak to the Zapdos as well.
Yeah,
problem.
a nice protect by Keith there. Live in the Thunderbolt. But we see the scary face come in here. Yeah, 50% at +1 still. The Iron Leaves is going to go down. Duraludon's going to come back in. Zapdos is kind of going to get to just kill something here. And, especially if we just double into the... Oh, we go for paralysis instead. Just
it turns out I was wrong
safe.
about the Mudsdale. I was putting it on a Sylvest at this point, but it turned out that it was just...
beefy.
Beefy and had Protect after all, which was just icing on the cake for me here.
Is there an attacking move on this Grimmsnarl?
Yeah, there's Spirit Break.
Spirit Break as a fourth. Oh, and full paralysis there.
Not that it would have mattered, but
you're still in a 3v1 with multiple full health mons.
With a paralyzed Duraludon at 20%, not going to happen. So really well played to Keith there in Game 3. I certainly have some regrets about my decision making in Game 3, but Keith played super well, and this Zapdos was a menace this set, supportively, throwing out Thunder Waves, helping hands, powerful Thunderbolts. I really underestimated it in prep. I figured I would just have enough to deal with it. And Chiyu, as always, was a menace, just doing big damage with fire moves. So really well played to Keith, and congrats to round 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to Keith. Moving on. I'm going to say Zapdos, the most consistently good Pokemon in Pokemon history. It's always been good. Anytime you've been able to use it in anything, Zapdos has been good. Zapdos for most consistent Pokemon.
I agree.
2024.
Yeah, Heaven in the chat also mentioning that I did see that it had leftovers, so I should have known it wasn't a Soulfest. It's possible. I played the game like a week ago. It's possible that I may have known that at the time, but I do remember considering a Soulfest for some reason. But maybe I just missed it. I'm not really sure. So yeah, really well done.
All right, let's take a look at some pastes here. We got Pachow. Iapapa Berry never came up for the...
That it did come up in game.
Oh, it did
Game
actually.
2, I think.
In game 2,
it was really annoying to me because I hit it with a Sacred Sword, and then all of a sudden it's back up to like 60%, which was very problematic for me.
You were right about the sash on the bundle.
Yeah,
and that was specs on the Comfy as well.
Max damage. I feel like I could have played it off like I was a genius for calcing that on the Grimmsnarl with 1%.
Yeah, I should probably calc Terra Fairy Choice Specs Helping Hand. Draining Kiss.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even think about it. I thought for sure when I saw it lead, I'm like, all right, well, maybe he's setting Trick Room, like, something standard. Was not expecting that, but it was pretty cool to see. I kind of wish it KO'd just for the shock factor. But alas, we see the Decidueye Choice Band never got to actually attack with it.
Yeah, never got to
we
do
didn't see it come
Terra
again.
Ground with the Terra Blast there.
I will say, Keith said in the awards that Mudsdale was the most disappointing Mon, but it certainly showed up in this match. It was really hard for me to deal with. Stamina.
What do we got here on yours that maybe we didn't see here? Yeah, so there's that Spirit Break that we never saw. What else do we have on this Inteleon that clicked Icy Wind and Vacuum Wave? Snipe Shot. Oh, Soak. Okay, so turn things into water types. And then
my idea was that I have
Thunderbolt,
Thunderbolt, I have Energy Ball, and Leaf Blade.
And
that if I find myself in an end game where I have a weird Terra that I can't deal with, I could Soak and then just hit it with the powerful move. It didn't end up coming up, but it was cool in theory, I guess.
Smart. Soak is a move that if you can find room for it, you just love to have. Like it's just an unpredictable thing for your opponent that if you know is a possibility, you can just lean a little bit in that direction, with maybe this would have been a Dark Pulse instead of a Thunderbolt, but you make it Thunderbolt, or
Right.
or whatever, or maybe Energy Ball would have been Dazzling Gleam, but you bring Energy Ball because you got the soak and stuff like that. Nice, fun stuff. All right, what
have we next?
We got next. We've got
Almost halfway done.
Ryan versus Steve. Oh, we're not even halfway done yet. Oh no, we're an hour in.
Yeah, we gotta pick up the pace here.
Yeah, we gotta move. We gotta move a little faster. But all right, so Ryan and Steve, we got the All Flyers versus the regulation E team.
Ryan's team is so funny to me. I
If
love
you
it.
squint.
I love that Ryan left like a bunch of points on the board, still made the playoffs, and he made Kabalion have like 18 kills, which is pretty cool. Kabalion is just a really good iron defense body presser as well. I'm sure, I know he used it in different ways throughout the season, but I mean, Kabalion definitely, I'm telling you, these mons in draft are better than they are in ladder. When you take these mons that are like 580 base stat total, these like pseudo legendaries that are normally trash and garbage, they have a place in draft, and often they're underpriced on our boards. So finding something like Kabalion for less than 10 points, you can make that thing get a ton of kills for you. So I really like how Ryan played it this season. And then of course on the other
too.
Absolutely.
And you don't think of it as having great coverage.
And it has mixed potential. You could run it special or physical. It's pretty good. Steve with the all flying team makes the playoffs anyway, which you love to see. And he played it well. I mean, this is a well-rounded team for a mono team. I think he picked a good type to still get a usable team that could be competitive. And we've seen a lot of mons shine on this team, including the Glisser. We've seen obviously the Corviknight do some big stuff.
Great, yeah.
I know Steve loves his Tropius as well, which I think
it hasn't come a ton.
Pretty decent here though.
But
I think we're almost certain to see the Enamorous T. Overcoat is really great into the Fungus, kind of negates it.
Fungus, yeah.
And Fairy is always a great offensive type. It's really good into the Dragapult. It's going to do good damage to the Sneasel, which we see on Ryan's team, and does great neutral damage to things like the Palafin, the Braviary, the Reuniclus. We're probably going to see those staples of Steve's team, like the Thunderous, the Dragonite, right?
Yeah,
the bread and butter. The Tropius can make an appearance for potential, grass immunity for the Fungus, potential Wide Guard in case we're worried about any.
Yeah, Wide Guard as well,
moves.
right? We got potentially heat waves. We've got
manual psychic terrain expanding force. Trust me, it's cooking.
That, but maybe. Dragon darts. Does Wide Guard work with Dragon darts? I think it does.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Probably.
Potentially earthquakes or something like that. Icy winds from the Sneasel. Yeah. All right. Well, we got a million more to watch.
Let's do it.
So
let's get into it. Get right into it.
Get this one going here. Alrighty, so we see the Elekid and no Fungus. And we see
pretty standard stuff from Steve.
The top six plus Driftblim plus Hawlucha.
No Thunderous.
So no Tropius. No Thunderous. No Thunderous.
Interesting. And we still see Hawlucha, so no prankster swagger shenanigans there. So that means he's cooking something else with this set here. Let's see what we got. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Oh yeah, no Sneasel either.
And we see the monster Kabalion that we saw. Taunt comes out to prevent the... Okay, and the Follow Me is going to eat that Will-O-Wisp. I'm sure that was meant for the Kabalion. But you could just set it again, right?
Yeah.
Great Protect. Get the great switch on into the Dragapult.
Big Draco Meteor there, but, I mean, it's not going to be a two-hit KO.
Elekid also once again able to set Follow Me. Now that it's not haunted.
Switching into a dark type, get the honest justified boost. You never see that.
Hell yeah.
Kind of wondering what Steve's fourth Mon is at this point.
Probably Dragonite.
Kind of surprised to see Kabalion into the all-flying team.
I mean, it is neutral, to be
yeah,
fair.
it is neutral, but, well, irrelevant now.
Enamorous T, big damage.
Yeah.
Love that Pokemon. So underrated. Really, really strong. Lives hits and then just hits you back with a 135. It's just as strong as Fluttermane. People don't give it credit.
Terra Flying and the Iron Thorns
Great
there is
Terra.
nice. Yeah, I mean, maybe an Ice Punch or something out of Dragonite. Like, how are we going to... What are we doing with this Terra Flying Iron Thorns here at this point? This seems scary behind a Dragon
But
Dance.
it's Dragon Dance. Yeah, that could be a problem. He
Extreme-
self-procs.
Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. Self-proc to go down to 7%, get a defense boost with a Key Berry, and then Strength Sap away your +1, and I assume he'll back to full?
That is so dirty. Oh my god. To activate, to get a full heal. Also, to not kill it is just another excellent thing there.
But,
right? Like,
I mean, so the trade is, I traded my Dragonite for a +1 defense Terra Dark Driftblim.
wow.
So, is that a great trade? I don't know, but it's an awesome play.
Well, I'll tell you what. With Strength Sap, this endgame is winnable. Because now you have a Dragapult that's weakened. You're always able to boost back up now. You still have the Enamorous in the back.
Enamorous awfully low.
And we see the speed control come up. I think Dragapult's still outspeed Enamorous. It is pretty slow.
Yeah, Tailwind.
Oh, major speed investment.
Whoa. Just enough there. Yeah, I mean, burn it. There we go. So that's Ryan can Dragon Dance, but that just lets Steve heal even more. Whoa.
Wow. To activate Unburden, to go first, to get the Strength Sap off. Wow. Major play from Steve. Winning play. And not to mention, to have the Enamorous speed invested to the point where you can outspeed a Dragapult under Tailwind is great prep. Obviously, part of the game plan to make sure you can enable that thing in Tailwind. Really well done.
Steve showing up just in time for us to watch this match. Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Can't believe that worked.
Not to mention, you have to Terra the Driftbloom in order for that to work, because the normal type wouldn't hit it otherwise.
Wouldn't hit it. Yeah.
So that was full commit to that strat right there, and it paid off in a major way. Really good call on the Strength Sap.
Wow.
I also just noticed that we actually don't see the Fungus here either. So
yeah,
Steve,
no Fungus,
not even worried about any potential.
No Fungus, no Sneasel,
no Spore, none of that.
No.
Wow.
Reuniclus.
Yep. So if you're Ryan here, I think you have to find a way to get this Palafin involved, right? Is one of your top picks, one of your strongest Pokemon offensively? I think maybe we see the
water type
Palafin
nice
come in here
into a lot of these Mons.
Yep. He really only has one water resist in the Dragon type Dragapult. Is that right? Unless he Terras.
Yeah. Unless I think so.
Getting Palafin in a position to succeed here is going to be good for Ryan, I think. But let's see what the adjustment is.
All right,
we see the Glister.
Gliscor now, and yep, we do see that Palafin there.
Right?
Terra Fire Palafin.
Maybe it's Scarf Flip Turn here.
Just stay in and raw dog it. Wave crashes.
Just goes right for a wave crash. Yeah, no need for the boost.
Messing up my stats there. Palafin. Every bit as annoying as Zoroark is.
Yeah, big Earthquake come out.
Stats.
Clear Amulet also major there to prevent the attack drop. But Earthquake's looking really strong here.
Yeah.
It's an auto click against those two. I'm wondering if we see some sort of Terra come out here from this Kabalion to prevent it from just dying here. Did we already see a Terra? No, right?
Yeah, Terra Fire.
Oh, we did on the Palafin. Okay. So
yeah,
Kabalion not able to dodge this Earthquake.
Just going to clean this up pretty quickly.
Honestly, lives more well than I would have thought. But with this Strength Sap here and the Tailwind up, now that Unburden activated as well, I don't see how this Palafin's going to do anything here. It's just going to keep getting Strength Sapped over and over.
Yeah, and now Gliscor
the Earthquake,
gets to Earthquake forever.
Eventually, you would think would clear through this Kabalion. We do see the leftovers available, but surely Steve has the Enamorous in the back for an Earth Power. I don't think Kabalion has the goods.
So.
Especially burned. It's not even going to be able to hit the
burned and with
for the damage
Strength
it wants.
Saps to stay healthy. Yep. This one This one feels pretty over.
We'll probably put the speed up. I think we're gonna see some stalling here with the leftovers.
Possibly. I mean, Hex is still
not
gonna.
even.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hex is still gonna do a good amount there.
Oh, was it Hypercutter Electric? Not clear.
Yeah, Hypercutter. But
got it. Didn't even realize that. I just saw the proc. I just assumed it was Cloak or Clear Amulet. Well done. So yeah, Steve with some heat in the playoffs. I'm sure that would have been on the weekly heat if it was in the regular season.
Oh yeah, especially because he then went on to win the game.
Yep.
Right.
It gives it bonus points.
So yeah, we had the Terra Flying on the Iron Thorns was pretty nice. Terra Steel Eject Pack is fun. Normal Terra Normal Extreme Speed on the Arcanine with Intimidate.
Yeah, I can understand why he didn't opt for it against the Ghost type Drifloon as well. Makes it a tough bring there, but really well played by Steve. I kind of like what Ryan was cooking too with the Elekid. The Elekid definitely caused some problems game one. He was switching it around, eating some Will-O-Wisps that were meant for the other targets, switching back into a Will-O-Wisp. So there was definitely some good stuff cooking there. We just didn't get to see this Palafin thrive thanks to that Strength Sap. Right? And same thing with the rest of the physical attackers. The Thorns lost the end game to the Strength Sap. Strength Sap turned out to be massive bring into this matchup. It turned out to just kind of neuter all the major mons Ryan wanted to enable here. The Palafin, the Cobalion, and the Thorns.
Especially a nearly fully physically offensive team, right? With the exception of the Dragapult and the Elekid, which doesn't really matter in terms of offensive output.
Yeah.
And it's all physical attackers. Yeah.
Yep.
That was something. Anything we
it was
didn't
double.
get to
It was
see?
Wisp and Strength Sap too. That's a hard commit to countering the physical attackers.
Yeah. Well,
we didn't really get to see
Wisp plus
Dragonite
Hex
do
as
too
well.
much. All Dragonite really did was E-speed the Drifloon and then die. But hey, that was all it needed to do to get the win in game one. So
yeah.
We didn't see the Corviknight either come to the match. We had some speed control options there, but I think Drifloon was just better at its job here. So no need to bring the Corv for that speed control bring. We saw the massive damage on the Enamorous Choice specs with max speed, Timid to outspeed Dragapult under Tailwind. Really, really nice game plan there. With the specs too, people sleep on the Enamorous damage. It has the same damage number, special attack number as Fluttermane. It's strong, and it has Stab Fairy just like Fluttermane. It can be really good if you enable it. And obviously, we've seen Gliscor do some stuff. Didn't really see the Hawlucha do much besides throw out a taunt and some close combats, but yeah, really nice to see that brought without Unburden as well.
Procta justified on the Cobalion in game one with a throat chop on a switch in. But all right.
Well played to both coaches. Congrats to Steve.
Absolutely. Let's
Monotype for the win.
Next one here. We've got Jace versus Tux.
All right. This is our only rematch, I believe.
Yes, and the weather battle as well.
A weather battle. I played both these teams in the regular season and lost to both of them.
And
so
lost
I can
to both
attest
of them?
that I did, yeah. So I can attest that these are some really strong teams. Jace obviously has quite a core in the 2 first-round picks that he finessed. We won't talk about that though. Anyway,
no, that was all above board. That was totally
I know.
That was fine.
It was fine. I'm just joking. I'm just busting chops. But yeah, Jace has a really good team here. They have some really good options in the Hariyama and Trick Room with the Mimikyu. We've got the Cottony for alternative speed control. The Rhydon is just a monster. That thing is like min-max to the max when you put an Eviolite on it. It's so bulky and it hits like a truck. Really slept on Mon if you throw a Terra on it to get rid of the 4x grass weakness. Now you're cooking. And then on Tuxbuck's side, made a lot of trades this season. We saw this team look very different than it did when we first did our review on it. And obviously, I think every team in the league just gets better when you add a Mon like Urshifu. That was the best acquisition. We've seen it every week since Tuxmucks acquired it, and it's put in absolute work. Every game. And why wouldn't you bring it? Like, I literally played this team right after Urshifu was acquired, and I prepped so hard for Urshifu, and it just kills me anyway. It's just so strong to have that ability to hit through Protect. Throw a Choice Band on it, Wicked Blow, critting through screens, through whatever you want. Give it speed control with the Torn. It's a really good fit. And then you have the Articuno has been a sleeper MVP for Tuxmux this season. He's used Snowscape a lot to enable the Articuno to just
with
dodge
powder
hits,
Articuno Snowcloak.
Roost.
Dodge, roost, and blizzard.
Hit you with a sheer cold or a blizzard.
Fish for freezes and sheer colds. Yeah.
And we've seen this Articuno put in absolute work. So this has been a team that's been better than it was initially advertised in our original review. And Tux has proven to play really well with their first playoff berth.
Alrighty. Who we got here in the match?
So pretty
one?
standard stuff from Tux Mux. We don't see the shift tree, which means fake out's not an option.
Shift tree.
So that's certainly relevant.
Tux Mux. What are you doing? Gotta bring Piplup now.
We see the Rotom Fan, we see the Hariyama, and the Mimikyu. Rhydon, probably a Trick Room option here. Trick Room feels really good into Tux Mux's team generally. His only counter to Trick Room is really that Spiritomb with the Imprison Trick Room and throwing it out in lead. And Spiritomb is not too difficult to deal with. If you're expecting it to be clicking Imprison, you can kind of just double it. So Tux is going to have to play pretty well to prevent Trick Room here, but maybe it won't matter if it can just get big damage off with the Typhlosion and the Urshifu first.
Yeah, and I know Jace has been very high on the Mimikyu this season, sort of unexpectedly. So having those plans there to deal with what's very likely to come in the form of bringing Trick Room and then also being offensive with a Spirit Team.
Yep.
I think
And with a mental herb here, with a mental herb on Mimikyu here, it seems like Trick Room's pretty guaranteed. Especially if he leads Hariyama next to it with the fake out. He could see the Covert Cloak.
An Imprison, right?
Right.
That's sort of the way to do it. But
and in that case, you can kind of just hit it with a play rough, right? And then just hit it with his partner, and then it's down to like 20%. So there's options. Let's see what we see here.
So we got Mike and Tom versus the Spiritomb and the Urshifu there. So no protects. Terra Fairy.
And I think we're gonna see the play rough here into the Spiritomb. Just take it out. Yep.
It's
like I said, right?
That's
it's
exactly
like you lead Spiritomb to get the Imprison, but it's obvious that that's what it's going to be doing. You just click attack on it. And now Trick Room's a pretty free setup here if they want it.
That's all right. That's one miss on an Articuno.
Count. Although you do have a Torkoal now going first with Eruption. Could miss with the snow, but it's going to change the sun.
Yeah, sets the sun and then back to snow. Breaks the disguise. And do we get a freeze? We do get a freeze!
Oh, no.
But Eruption... Doesn't Eruption thaw? Yeah, there's so many fire-type moves that you can use to thaw yourself out. Yeah.
Alright, so luckily it went on the correct Pokemon. If it was a freeze on the Mimikyu, it'd be a different story.
I guess Eruption is it must be one of them too. Yeah. But
nice Terra here on the water.
Yeah.
We see the Tornfall anyway, but we're going to see another big attack come out here from the Articuno, killing the Torkoal. No more weather this match for Jace.
Misses a play rough. That's
on the
Urshifu
miss. Too. Yeah. So that wasn't even a snow cloak.
Yeah, just an honest miss.
You know, this could get dicey here if we don't have a way to break this Articuno endgame. We're gonna stall out the turn of Trick Room. Love the protect on the Urshifu.
Oh, a double Articuno just getting a freeze dry. Takes it down the Sash. Whoa.
Wow. Big damage.
Tux with the reads.
And the Wicked Blow going right through protect because the Mon is broken. Wow.
Whoa. Ready for the sun. Absolutely. It's winter time in Tuxmux's world.
I'm telling you, this Articuno has been a menace. You give it snow. I'm telling you, you have manual snow. It's such a weird mode that you never expect, but if you don't prep for it, you literally just get rolled. Like, it's crazy how good it is because it's such a bulky Mon. You give it a Terra. You give it the Bright Powder. And not to mention, if you're staying the Ice type, you're getting that defense boost thanks to the snow as well. It's just, Gen 9 has been so good to this Mon, the Articuno. Giving it such great tools. And we see it come into play here. Well played by Tuxmux just to stall out the Trick Room as well.
Yep.
You know, there was an unfortunate
pretty
miss.
Obvious bring, but also a good bring, right? Because, like, Torkoal potentially Terra Water, Walking Wake, 4X, super effective.
Yeah. Pretty brutal miss on the play rough, a 5% miss chance on the Urshifu. If the Urshifu is sashed...
10. Play rough is 90, but yeah.
Is it 90? Yeah, if the Urshifu... Regardless. Did we see a sash on Tux's side? Or no?
On Tux's side, I don't think we did.
So it's always possible that Urshifu could have been sashed anyway?
Yeah, it could be on Urshifu or on Tornadus, because Tornadus got chunked a couple of times.
I'm guessing Torn is probably Covert Cloak. We could see the sash on Urshifu. It could just be a damage, like a band or something too. We don't really know. But, so maybe we'll find out in game 2. Really well played though. despite
Wowzers. Well done, Tux.
Yeah. So let's see. Does Jace have a way to stop this Articuno with the snow?
All right, let's fire it up here. What do we got?
You would think they would with that Torkoal, but you bring in the Torkoal and then all of a sudden prankster weather. I think you have to prioritize getting rid of this Tornadus.
Yep. So we got leading fake out this time.
Might see the Covert Cloak here, which we actually don't even see the fake out. Probably reading that it's likely a cloak. Wow, doubles it up. Terra committed as well. And Thunder Punch not doing what you expect.
Barely 50% before the guts burn there.
I think the lack of Trick Room here is going to prove pretty harsh for this.
Yeah, very rough, right? Because, I mean, Jace is just going to be going second for the rest of the match, basically. Oh, yeah, especially if Rhydon is your fourth one. Yeah, this one's feels over already. I mean, Tux just gets to throw out two attacks before Jace does anything for the rest of the game.
The lead on the Basket Legion lead is what won Tux Mux this game, right? Because if you're Jace, you're thinking, okay, Trick Room is really good for my team, so I want to get Trick Room up. I'm going to lead the Fake Out. I'm going to lead the Mimikyu. But when you lead the Ghost type next to the Mon, that's likely Covert Cloak. This is why I always tell people that having a great Ghost type makes your draft team better. Having the ability to you can't fake out this slot is so powerful. It prompted Jace to not click the Fake Out and end up losing the Mimikyu to a double up, and then thus losing the snowball after that. So really well played by the Torn. Also double weather. We see double weather on two teams in this playoffs.
Oh yeah, Rain Dance and Snow
and the snow.
Rain, Snow, Rain, Sun.
Well done.
Well done to Tux. All
taking
three
down another Titan.
All three of our 0-3 to 4-3s moving on too.
And I think that's both our undefeated teams. Did Jace lose in the regular season?
Yeah. No, Jace was not undefeated. Colby and Tech.
Oh, okay. But I think Jace was still 6-1, so another Titan taken out here. So really well played. It just goes to show you the parity in VBL is at an all-time high. These coaches, you can't sleep on anybody because everybody can beat anybody in this league. It's a really high skill cap, and we're seeing it in these matches. Great mind games, great prep from Tux, and great adjustments game 2 to secure the win.
All right. What did we not see out of Jace here? We saw all 6 Pokemon. Sash on the Walking Wake.
Yep, we see the Scarf on the fan.
Yep, Scarf fan.
And that Rhydon, unfortunately, just didn't get to do anything. You could tell that game 2 was a hard committed Trick Room because they brought the Hariyama, the Torkoal, and the Rhydon all together with the Mimikyu. So not getting it off ended up being a crucial downfall to that game 2 plan. But I mean, obviously, I like the plan from Jace. Right? It's like if you can get Trick Room up against this team, it puts you in a really good spot. That play rough miss. Do we see the sash on the Urshifu? Can we take a look?
Oh yeah, we can bring up the other one now. Yep, it was a sash there.
So it wouldn't even matter.
Tuck's giving me an open team sheets.
Wow, they're trying to hide
his EVs a secret.
This is some metagaming here. They're thinking, all right, for round 2, I don't want people to know my spreads here. We see
you. All right. Fair enough. Okay.
A really, really entertaining game, though. It's always fun to see a weather war. There. We see another one with the Prankster weather versus the manual weather. Prankster weather.
Again, bright powder.
Wins. Bright powder. I'm telling you, you gotta watch out for that bright powder.
Starting out at 87% accuracy in the snow between Snow Cloak and Bright Powder. Is that?
I'm not sure how the math works on that.
Are they both 10%?
It may be 87% to hit, but when I play against
or 81, 81, I think.
Like
if they're both 10.
Feels like 17% chance to hit when you're playing against it.
It's just 1 in 5 on every single one. Bang.
Yeah, Heaven throwing out. Yeah, there's probably just no EVs.
Yeah, no EVs anywhere. Just didn't even bother.
Just no EVs. All right, really, really nice. Entertaining game so far. I'm excited to see the rest of these.
Excellent stuff. All right. Let's get the next matchup up. We got Red Jolteon versus Brath.
Brath. All right, so I'm just going to say it right now. Red Jolteon, I owe you an apology, my friend, because I did not believe in the Meowstic. I trashed it because I used it a few seasons ago and I hated it, but it turns out it was a skill issue because Red Jolteon has made this thing look like the premier prankster this season, bringing it so often and having it do so many things. We've seen fake tears. We've seen so much from this Meowstic, and it's enabled this Garchomp and Fluttermane and Moltres core to do so much for the team. So we've really seen a lot of success out of this prankster once again.
So I definitely don't remember what I said about these teams at the beginning of the season, because I never do, because I just say whatever I feel like and then it's out of my brain. But I bet I had similar things to say about both of these teams, which is I think they're kind of meh, but they are made up of exclusively Pokemon that I like.
Yeah, these are some feels good Pokemon here.
Yeah, like these are all Pokemon you're happy to draft. And,
Yep. I really like... Yep.
They're both in the playoffs.
I like Beebraft's team because I'm a Klefki fanboy over here. We got some prankster on prankster action. You guys, if you guys are noticing a theme, draft a prankster and you'll make the playoffs. That's what the main takeaway from this stream here. But these pranksters are strong, and we're gonna see a prankster war here.
Yeah.
I don't believe either gets prankster taunt, although the Meowstic may.
Prankster. 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 No prankster.
No, prankster. Yep.
You got it. Keith does not got it. Here.
And we see the Murkrow.
Here.
And Railu.
Here. Not quite.
You get a half point.
Close.
Half point for that.
Half prankster.
Yeah, so Meowstic does not get taunt either, by the way. I just looked it up.
Prankster.
No
prankster. And no prankster. And
no prankster.
No prankster. All right.
We have one matchup without a prankster.
Lots of it, though. All right.
Lots of it.
Yeah, Garchomp is a great Pokemon. Moltres is great. Braff's team exclusively made up of Pokemon that I like. Good stuff teams versus good stuff teams. Let's keep this one moving. We got so much still to watch.
We do. We've got a prankster war here, though. I'm curious to see if we see like some screen-on-screen action. Maybe we see some more just fake tears burn through it anyway. Should be fun. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, we'll give Comfy a half a point.
Okay, sure.
All right.
I feel like it gets a third of a point.
Wait, so what do we got here? We got both pranksters, Natch. We got Mamoswine and Iron Jugulus. We got the Feraligatr.
Yep.
Garchomp and Moltres. Yeah, the good Pokemon on both teams. I don't think nothing crazy that we would have expected, but don't have, right? Maybe Bisharp. Yeah, basically. This is what I would expect. Alrighty. Let's keep it moving here.
Alright, so we see the Jugulus alongside the Klefki. We've got some prankster on prankster here. We see the fake out come out. No covert cloak. The Moonblast, it's gonna live the hit.
To stay alive and live the Terra flying acrobatics.
Big damage, and we do see some screen-on-screen action. This is like my wet dream. I love screens. This is great. I love screen matchups right here. Let's see it. And look at that, just living hits. Living hits you shouldn't, and doing big damage back. This is why it's such a great.
Covert cloak. No, just nobody doing any damage.
Nah. This is gonna be a brutal endgame here. We're gonna have to see who could break through these walls. I wonder if we see Light Clay on either of these sides.
Big Terra ground here. Who saw that coming? Not me. Yeah, nobody doing any damage here. Meowstic. 12% alluring voice. Scary stuff.
All right. Klefki's removed. So once again, you're seeing the -2 move locking in your last Mon since you can't switch anymore. So now Grotomo is way less scary here, but these Mons are weak.
Yeah, 3 low Mons versus
excellent
2
switch,
not
by the
low
way,
Mons.
by Red Jolteon, eating the close combat.
Seeing the light clay on the Klefki as well, with those
on both sides,
just
I believe,
hanging out. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I got knocked off. We already saw that one. We're gonna 1v1 here.
I think Feraligatr has the edge without any screens up.
All right, that one ended up like could have gone either way, except the Rotom-Mow was at -1 speed.
Yep. I'll tell you what, that game went.
But
there was so much going on there. We just refused to acknowledge the fact that we just saw a booster energy physical Jugulus hit in acrobatics with Terra flying. That was some big heat right there. To bring the physical Jugulus with prankster, no, not
knockoff.
prankster, booster, terra flying, acrobatics, and it still didn't kill the flutter. So that probably means flutter has got some bulk.
Yeah, those screens just mean there's lots of opportunities to just like throw out 40% moves, and you just get.
Yep.
And they tend to go on longer, and you see so much information, right?
Yeah, we saw a Psychic Fangs too to break the screens on the Feraligatr, which was massive.
Yeah, that is nice.
So really well played by Red Jolteon. Takes the first match of the Prankster Screens War. I love this matchup.
Yeah. Feraligatr likely to come again, was good. Cleaned up the screens. Did a little bit of switching in and switching out, and was able to remain healthy through that end game. Braff got kind of put in a rough position where the Terra Ground Moltres meant it had to Leaf Storm with the Rotom instead of the Thunderbolt that it definitely would have preferred.
Right.
Could maybe take advantage of that in game 2 with a Garchomp switch in instead of a Terra Ground.
Yep, and I'm not going to lie, like this Entei doesn't not have a great matchup here at all.
Yeah, Entei doesn't.
Entei feels like a hard bring into the Moltres, Garchomp, and Feraligatr. It seems like really tough to enable to do well. I mean, maybe it has like banned E-Speed, but even then with screens, it's not doing what you want. So I'm wondering if we see it at all, or maybe we just see the same leads with a different plan here. Maybe we don't see the Jugulus. I'd love to see the
Jugulus and we see a Mamo instead or something like that, perhaps. But
yep. Or maybe we see the Entei with a Terra. Let's see.
Shiny Garchomp, just a little bit of
there
a flex.
It is.
Blink and you miss it.
So almost certainly you have to Terra the Entei in this matchup. I like the switch. It's going to eat a potential Earthquake.
We're going to see a Ghost.
Forces the Terra. Some Terra on Terra action there. We see the Jug come anyway.
Still the fastest thing around.
Yep. We've actually seen all 4 Mons from B-Braf's side. No Klefki this time.
Yeah, no Klefki, no Mamoswine. What do I know?
And it's working out all right for now, but we're going to see these. We're going to see Fake Out come in here, and we've got
nice
screens
switch.
coming up after.
The Tailwind goes up.
I will say you're less mad about Tailwind going up when you know that you have the screens in the back. You're now able to set up some bulk, live the hits that go first, and then hit hard back.
And, I mean, you've now also lost Iron Jugulus. So, I mean, your offensive presence is now a close combat.
This is going to come down to
the Entei.
Yeah. Does B-Braf have a way to get through this Garchomp behind a screen? I'm not sure that they do. We do see the Ice move. Okay.
And a double into a Protect is rough.
Revealing the fact that you're about to use Ice Spinner as well. Does big damage anyway. We already used the Terra on the Flutter, so that wouldn't be an issue.
Not enough to kill it. 10% on that Garchomp.
More Prankster Weather, boosting up the Liquidation. Big damage. Sacred also weakening the Sacred Fire coming out. And this Meowstic is chunking. Luckily, you're not too concerned about the Meowstic damage output here. We see the E-Speed, but it doesn't kill. It doesn't
quite get there.
Oh,
and the Entei goes down. That's rough. You really need to hit
make that play, right? When Tailwind ends, that's your only out, and you don't get it because of 1%. Brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, really well played.
Still in a rough position, right? Red Jolteon had a 4th Pokemon unrevealed, so like the Entei has to kill a Garchomp, and then the Meowstic kills that Rotom, and then it's still Entei versus Meowstic and an unknown, which, I mean, if it's Moltres or Feraligatr, then that's rough because the Moltres had Scorching Sands and resists everything that Entei wants to do, basically. Well, I guess Entei has Stone Edge, but
I almost wish we could have saw the Klefki in that last game, and maybe instead of the Jugulus. I feel like the speed advantage wasn't as important as the bulk advantage in that matchup. But I mean, obviously, it could have worked out. Definitely, we saw some really great protects from Red Jolteon to preserve those turns while they stalled out the Tailwind, especially on the Garchomp, eating the Ice Spinner that turn, allowing it to live the hit the next turn. They're really well played, and we see these pranksters, big impact. That's the story of the night.
What do we got here? So yeah, we got the Sheer Force Life Orb, kind of what you're expecting on a Feraligatr. Just 3 moves plus Dragon Dance. Water type move, Weather Ball in the rain. Didn't come, but Coaching, Trailblaze, Spiky Shield. This is a fun Chestnut set. I like this. It's cool. bulletproof for. What are we maybe worried about here? I don't know what bullet moves to worry about, but also, I mean, your other alternative is overgrow, and that's not that great either. But
The liquidation in the rain boosted from Rain Dance was so big, and it's such a great bring into a team that doesn't have a lot of water resists outside of the Rotom-Mow.
yeah,
So
I love how well Moltres has worked on a pseudo rain team for Red Jolteon this season too, right? He's brought Rain Dance on Meowstic several times, and between Hurricane and Weather Ball, it can just do so well even in the rain.
yeah, we didn't actually see Flutter do too much this match, but it didn't need to. The Garchomp was
threw out
able
some
to pull the work.
Moon Blasts.
I also really like just seeing the stomping tantrum on Garchomp. I feel like a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking, well, you have to use Earthquake because it's the best ground move. But if you don't always have a game plan that includes them next to ground immune partners, it's not always the best bring. So having the option to not worry about it and just go for stomping tantrum, I like it.
We got on the other side here. Scarf on the Mean Chow. Oh, with coaching. That's fun. Assault Vest. Yeah, Terra Normal E-Speed. Got that one. Sash on the Mamo. And no Ice Shard is interesting. I would think... certainly anytime I'm bringing a Mamoswine versus a Garchomp, I want to have Ice Shard on it. But, I didn't make the playoffs, so...
I guess they figured with speed control, right? You might not need it if you get the Tailwind off, because Red Jolteon doesn't really have a great Tailwind setter. So if Jugulis was a great part of the game plan, you might just think, okay, well, I'm going first anyway. Let me just use the Icicle Crash and save the move for coverage. I think is a reasonable choice. So yeah, really well played. And congrats to the former champ, Red Jolteon.
Yeah.
Moving on to round 2.
Where's my... Here we go. All right, we got Tay versus Pancake.
All right.
The other, the undefeated versus the first 3 picks, Scary Trick Room, and then also ended up with a, what was the name, Glastrier.
Also some hidden heat in the Kingdra with the Dragon Cheer that we all clowned on in the reviews, and then we immediately saw week 1 why we were wrong. I love that. Yeah, so, I mean, Tay has been one of the most consistent coaches in VGC Draft League history. Has a great team, and as expected, great play all season to go undefeated in the regular season. Has an interesting matchup with Pancake here, where Pancake has this team that kind of wants to be running Trick Room a lot of the time. If you're committing a lot of points to the Glastrier, the Dusclops, and the Hatterene, you would think you'd want that strong Trick Room core. Obviously, the Ursaluna Blood Moon is going to be big to have in Trick Room, but also can operate outside of Trick Room. We have the Noivern, which is the second fastest thing on the field, which will definitely be relevant in this match.
124, like, Pancake has to have just been like, just double checking it. Like, are we sure that's the base speed on?
I know, it's so brutal, right? It's like, and the thing for Tay that I think swings this matchup in their favor is the fact that this Blood Moon Ursaluna is such a menace because you can't Terra out of the resist for ground and normal. It's not possible thanks to the ability, right? So like the only normal resists are also weak to ground. You have rock and steel because you can't do ghosts because it just goes through anyway, right? Luckily for Tay, they have a levitating steel type, which means that the Bronzong actually turns out to be a decent counter to the Ursaluna Blood Moon. So if you throw like an Assault Vest on the Bronzong, you might just be able to outwall it, right? Because it's not going to be clicking those normal moves, and it can't really click those ground moves either. So I think that's part of why, Tay finds this matchup attractive for the Bronzong. I think we're definitely going to see the Bronzong in a major role in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's a one Pokemon Trick Room and counter Trick Room mon too, right? And there's so much of what Pancake's points are invested in is wanting to get that Trick Room set up or to go very fast and first. Yep. But the rest of the team and the fact that Tay has the fastest Pokemon means, Tay could very well handle that.
And that means Tay has them covered in both realms because in Trick Room 2, the the Raging Bolt doesn't really care too much about Trick Room in a lot of ways because it doesn't have a great speed stat to begin with, and it can click its Sucker Punch variant, which is Thunderclap or whatever. And Electric looks pretty good here outside from the Ursaluna. You're not really seeing a lot of Electric Resist.
Yeah, definitely not.
So outside of the 2 Grass Mons that we see, but those are not major players here. You know, maybe one of those comes, the Scovillain and the Executor.
Executor, I think, probably more likely. Dragon type being nice, you know.
And then you look at Taste Team and you're like, oh, it's pretty good. And then you see the great Tusk sitting at the bottom. And you're like,
peekaboo, there's a great Tusk down here. Yeah, exactly.
But I'll tell you what, if Pancake can find themselves in a position to either enable Kingdra or enable Blood Moon to deal with everybody else, and if they have a good answer to this Bronzong, we could definitely see the match swing in their favor. So let's see what we got.
Alrighty. Let's get this game going here. We got Rabombi, great Tusk. We got basically what you're expecting out of Tay. And we got the Dragon Cheer mode plus some Trick Rumors out of Pancake. As is generally the case, my prediction of Executor over Scovillain was incorrect. Don't believe anything I say. Assume I'm always wrong. All right, let's get this one fired up. We still got plenty more matches to watch. Two matches left to watch here.
All right, so we see Fake Out on Fake Out here. Salazzle with the speedier Fake Out, but Terraghost coming out very nice to dodge it. I wonder if we see the Fake Out into the Hatterene. We don't.
Just a parting shot. Bounce it back, but forces
sending
out
it out. Interesting tech.
Shot.
Probably
Forgot
almost
that's
certainly
how that
by
works.
Design.
And
wow, that's great anti-Trick Room tech.
Yeah, and we see the eject pack on the Salazzle as well.
That is such excellent anti-Trick Room. He could just keep doing that. And you're so willing to let your Persian sit here and do nothing?
Whoa. What a just brutal one move shutdown of a whole Pokemon.
Yeah, you need to kill this Persian. But look at this Ursaluna. I'm telling you, if you don't have a way to kill it, it's going to click you with Hyper Voice.
Bronzong
Terra
down.
Normal too. The Bronzong dead. This Ursaluna has a great path to just killing everything left.
Yeah, Raging Bolt coming in.
Nice switch. State preserving the Glastrier for later. It lives the hit, and we see the Blood Moon take a KO.
Another KO.
With Terra Normal. Although the Life Orb will mean that we lose the Ursaluna.
Alright, can't switch out now. But
no.
The foul play.
And the Poltergeist. It's going to be a GG for game 1.
Just wraps it up.
So I think if you're a Pancake, you realize now that you are hard countered and you cannot get Trick Room up with this parting shot.
You cannot bring Hatterene. Which basically means, so Tay's like, okay, he knows he can't bring Hatterene, which means his best path to immediate pressure is now Dragon Cheer, right?
Yep. And this is where I wish we had the Noivern here for a potential fast mode. I know you're dominated by the Rabombi, but would have been nice to have an option to get this Ursaluna up in Tailwind.
Dragon Cheer being the obvious thing then for Pancake to bring, take and then say, all right, well then I'm just going to bring Rabombi and throw Scary Moonblast out at it, and I'll be faster than anything it can do.
And the other thing is, like, you know, he has Dragon answers. Like, the Bronzong doesn't care about getting Dracoed by a Kingdra, especially if it's a Assault Vest. I don't know if we really saw the item on the Bronzong or what it was really running. Didn't really do much. It's leftovers. Yeah. Okay, so you might not even need the AV. But I think it's going to come down to, can you enable this Ursaluna? Because it's so powerful, it's so strong. Can you get it in a spot where it's not going to die to the Raging Bolt or any other attack, like a Body Press? We know it's Terra Normal, so that leaves it very vulnerable to getting Body Pressed down by the Bronzong as well. You can't even Terra it into a Fighting Resist. So let's see what the adjustment is.
All right, game 2. What do we got? Persian, Cyril Edge, same lead, and
something else.
We see the Hatterene.
Hatterene. You know, maybe we could see a switch here, predicting it, but then you're also letting your Mon go -1, but you're also getting the Persian out of there.
But it is forcing the Persian out. I don't know. What do we see?
I don't see why. Rage Powder. There you go. And it's safety goggles?
It's still... yeah, must be.
Wow. Safety goggles, Terra Ghost.
Brutal.
Unbelievable. So the backup plan is now also a bust. So now you're once again in a bad position here. You're letting your Glastrier take a -1 hit, which is going to be pretty bad for its damage output, especially since it doesn't have the speed advantage, doing almost nothing thanks to the Terra bug as well. You can get a Trick Room up here if, of course, you don't get crit by a Bitter Blade and just double.
And doubled into.
Although
rough.
you probably die anyway since you're Terra Fairy into a Heavy Slam. Yeah, this is brutal. I don't think we're going to see a win here.
Whoa.
That's tough. Safety goggles. Wow. The Gall. The perfect answer.
Whew.
Oh.
I feel like there's a whiteboard on next to Tay's computer that's just got a full flow chart, just everything written out for this happens, this happens, this happens.
You know, I guarantee that Persian has taunt.
Oof.
Because the only other way he's getting Trick Room up is Dusclops, which didn't come to the match. And I'm sure you're expecting the Eviolite on the Dusclops. I almost guarantee we see a taunt on the Persian, and we do. So just all around dominated on all methods to set Trick Room. So you really just see pure denial of your main mode. Really brutal. And great prep by Tay to just shut down the opponent's game plan.
So if that happened in the finals, Persian's on the logo. So just everybody keep that in mind for the next couple of weeks. Because that was crazy. That's
insane.
That was a brutal shutdown of basically a whole team with one move and one item.
And Electric with a good point. It's like if you don't run, maybe if you think about that, you don't run Magic Bounce on the hat, which would be Galaxy Brain, right? No sane person is thinking that unless you're better at the game than I am.
I mean,
but
what is Hatterene's other abilities?
The other thing is too is like if once you reveal you're not Magic Bounce, then you're just susceptible to taunt as well. So it's not even like a pure hard counter. The goggles too it's just really good prep. That's great. And honestly, I liked the game plan too from Pancake. How could you expect something like that?
No Dragon Cheer.
We don't see the Dragon Cheer either. Scovillain just ends up doing nothing thanks to those goggles. The ability to recognize, okay, the only way that this strat loses is if he brings in the goggles or brings in the Rage Powder after. To have that level of prep for a Mon that's as low tier as Scovillain, that shows you the difference in thinking that comes into being a great coach like Tay. Just thinking about all those different outs that they could potentially have.
Yeah, is there anything
really
else
well played?
No, yeah. Goggles is there for Rage Powder. There's nothing else really that... Sleep Powder, Chlorophyll, Executor, maybe? Like, what else are you bringing that for? Yeah, so...
And it's like it's sad because you don't get to see the Glastrier do what it was designed to do under Trick Room because you don't even get to see it with Trick Room up. Brutal. Well done to both teams.
Well done
Congrats
to Tay.
On a good match.
Well done to Pancake. Looking forward to the rest of the matches there in the playoffs. All right, so we got one last match here: Goose versus Heaven. I got sent this match and I was told all-time match. This is a great one.
We're ending on a good note.
So I put this last, even though the rest of them were sent. We watched the rest of the matches in the order I received them. I moved this one to the end.
Yep, and you know what? I think this is our only manual weather war. We've had a lot of prankster weather in this finals. Here we don't see any pranksters. This is the only matchup without at least one prankster on either team.
Just ability weather.
And they both have ability setting weather, so this could get interesting. These are the fun weather wars where you can't just click the funny prankster button and change the weather guaranteed. You have to actually strategically switch in your mons and get the weather you want for the turn. So we've seen Registeel be a staple of Heaven's team for multiple seasons of the VBL-S. It's been no different this time. We've seen the Body Press Iron Defense do a number. It also has a pretty decent matchup into the Archaludon, being able to boost up the defense, which obviously the Arch doesn't care about, but it's hard for Archaludon to hit it super effectively with only Steel and Dragon Stab.
Right.
And it's going to hit back super hard with Body Press. So I think we're definitely going to see the Registeel be a component of this match. Yeah, the Latias can set speed control.
Titan, I think, also very likely to be good here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
A Mon that could potentially take advantage of the rain in addition to the snow. It's not, you got your times 4s, you got potentially solid Trick Room stuff going on. It's been good for Heaven all season. I think it's very likely to come. Gyarados as well as both an anti-rain and just good support. Salamence doesn't want to get intimidated. Floatzel doesn't want to get intimidated. Tinkaton is on tempo some of the time, but maybe it wants to be Mold Breaker. Does it want to be Mold Breaker? What does it care about? I don't know if it cares about being Mold Breaker. Nothing immediately.
Yeah,
jumps out.
I think the Ninetales and the Pelipper are the two monsters to watch in this match just because of that weather. I think Aurora Veil on paper looks amazing here, but it's really risky to click Aurora Veil unless Pelipper's on the field and snow is up. Because if you have the Pelipper switch in and negate your snow, all of a sudden you just wasted your turn. Yeah. And now you're susceptible to just dying.
When both are, even if both get led, right, Pelipper is going to overwrite the snow because snow's going to happen first. So.
Yep, that's true. And I think, does Ninetales get freeze dry?
Definitely. Yeah.
Got it, right? So I think we'll almost certainly be seeing that to deal with some of these water types. Let's see.
Let's get this battle up here. Alrighty. Fired up. So what do we see here? Anything crazy that we're missing?
Toadskruel and Infernape, good members of the team. Infernape's an interesting bring into the Rain team that also has some really strong flying types like Salamence and Pelipper. No Registeel.
Yeah, no Registeel for Heaven. The CEO
surprising
on a vacation.
A little surprising because I think it does have a really good matchup into the Archaludon, but maybe they were fearing some of the other. It's also actually not great against Archaludon body press iron defense. So, that could have been a potential bring as well.
Could be.
Let's see what we got.
Alrighty.
This is such a fun matchup. So we see the Infernape come out, has fake out.
Couple of fake outs leading.
Although what's faster?
Jolteon is the fastest. Right? No, definitely Infernape is faster.
Infernape's faster?
Than
Okay.
Tinkaton, yeah. But Jolteon is the fastest, period. So if it's like Cloak or something like that with a good Terra, that could just be a real problem on turn 1 immediately.
Yep.
But let's see what we got. Just a switch and a protect.
Really
playing it a little slow. Protect. Electro Web. Switch in the ground type. Immune.
Nothing burger of a turn 1. Nothing
happened.
happened.
Nothing happened, but I think that was a good turn for Heaven, right? Like, you got good information. Jolteon, Electro Web does basically nothing. Toadskruel's a great switch in to both of those mons. One or the other basically has to switch out. And
you get the info too that since the Tinkaton protected, you're probably not looking at a Covert Cloak, because if it was Covert Cloak, there's no reason for you to protect. You'd probably just eat the fake out and then fake out the Titan.
Yeah.
Right. So
also protect. Probably not fake out. Also, like, protect and fake out is a lot of investment.
Out of 4, yeah. Especially when you want Gigaton Hammer.
You want Gigaton Hammer because that's the reason you draft that Pokemon.
And you might want Player Off or Fake Tears or something else.
Yeah, like that fourth slot. If you've got Fake Out and Protect, your fourth slot is so valuable. Like, I think Fake Out and Protect is probably unlikely. Probably one or the other. And Protect also means it's not Assault Vest, which is like one of Tinkaton's favorite items to run. So yeah, a lot of good information off that one.
Yep. We do see that Goose gets their weather in first, but as we see the Titan's about to belly drum up, some big damage.
Mirror Herb.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big one.
Double belly drum. Yeah. A mirror match.
Tinkaton didn't even have to spend any HP to do it.
I know, and it gets a Gigaton Hammer off. So now you're a little worried here. So I think what you want...
So can't Gigaton Hammer this turn, right? Because it Gigaton Hammered last turn.
Yeah.
But
Mirror's great tech here because Heaven has a lot of ways to boost up on his team.
To boost, yeah, definitely.
Dragon Dance, Belly Drum, Swords Dance.
Oh.
All really good options.
Wait. Hurricane Mist in the rain.
A Utility Umbrella?
There we go. Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah, must be.
Paying off? And we see the Terra Ice come out. Could be risky into the steel attack, but the Rage Powder comes in clutch. And it's
Ice
going to
Spinner
allow...
goes out first. Closes
go.
that one down.
Weather Ball, it's a trade.
I'd take that trade all day if I'm Goose.
So here's the problem, though. So, okay, we actually don't see the Alolan Ninetales at all. So you don't even have to worry about setting weather in the back.
No weather this
Rain
time.
is just up. You have committed Terra, and you're facing a very fast electric type on a Gyarados. I hope you're Wakanberry, otherwise this is a very dead Gyarados.
Or,
Fake
potentially, fake out plus Earthquake, but then you're killing your Infernape. Fake out plus, Waterfall probably kills it. Or
probably in Rain. We could see a Protect on the Jolteon, though we don't.
But let's see.
And Fake Out comes in.
So
Is it
See
Cloak?
the Fake Out finally.
It is Cloak.
It is cloaked.
And it is Wakanberry. Oh, I love this match.
There we go.
This is so cool. We see a Thunder Wave
Thunder
miss.
Wave into the Protect.
Oh, and you're not getting the kill on the Jolteon. That's going to be rough for this game. We see a Protect come out.
Great Protect from Goose. Oh, especially with a double up.
It's the big switch. Rain coming back in the back. Going to give a big Electro shot to the Gyarados here. Although the Gyarados is not going to get to go first. It's going to die to the Electro shot into the Infernape. So Gyarados stays alive, but unfortunately,
kind of wasted there, and then just Electroshock finishes it off. Dang.
Big time.
I mean, so far, game 1, fun to watch. I quite enjoyed it.
So fun.
Lots of opportunities
missing the rain is brutal. Gotta be Umbrella,
players.
Right?
It has to be. Yeah, I can't think of another. Yeah,
unless it's Bright Powder.
Think of another.
Bright Powder is possible, although unlikely.
But Hurricane in the rain,
it never misses. Is that the rule?
it's a
Okay.
It bypasses the accuracy check.
So it has to be Umbrella.
But
which is fun.
Plenty of spots for both players to feel smart in that match. Love it. Game 1, excellently done. All right, game 2. Snow probably coming for this game 2, right? You want to be able to control the weather a little bit. Yeah,
you have to bring it, and you also
the rain again.
Since you're against some physical opponents, you have the. Oh, I guess the Tinkaton is physical, right? You want to have that defense boost potentially on the Titan as well. You are Terra Ice, so you're committed. You're locked into Ice. So if you're gonna commit to the Ice on the Titan, you may as well have the Snow up to take advantage of that boost. Yep. And I think an Aurora Veil will go a long way here if he can get one off.
Yeah, quite possibly.
And I understand not leading the Ninetales because, leading a Weather Setter in a Weather War is kind of allowing your opponent to then get the advantage on turn 2. So I kind of like both coaches opting to leave it in the back.
Both coaches kind of thinking that, all right, Weather in the back, we can bring it in either turn 1 or on turn 2 to reset any shenanigans. We know this is a Cloak now, so we know this isn't. We can, Fake Out and Ice Shard. Probably doesn't kill the Salamence because of the Intimidate, but...
I mean, what you could do here you could switch in the Alolan Ninetales and get the Swift Swim and get the Slush Rush off if you want to outspeed potentially the Jolteon and maybe try to kill it quick. But it seems like this set is designed to set up. So we see a switch out, bring the Toedscroll in. We're going to probably see the Belly Drum again with the Rage Powder. I think you want to have this boost up. You want to get rid of that Intimidate, maximize the attack. You're big damage now. The Weather Ball is not going to do that much. Luckily, Toedscroll is very specially defensive.
Rage Powder again. Ice Shard.
Ice Shard going to do big time damage here. This is not a good end game. You have to Terra the Salamence here. Or preserve it and take out the Titan first. And now we see the Snow come in.
Goes first. Times 4 Ice Spinner. Goodbye. Resists
big time.
The
and
Ice type. Now
ice
we're
type.
Looking at some...
Now that is what I call a Weather War, my friends. I like the Terra, but... Heaven's able to sniff it out thanks to a timely Protect. Going to be able to hit it with something else next turn, perhaps maybe an Earthquake or some other neutral coverage move that it can hit a Fire type with. Or, you know what? Just Ice Shard it anyway. Why
Resisted. Not quite getting the 2-hit, but...
Yeah, and with so many mons in the back... and with the Life Orb chip, it actually is going to be a 2-hit.
There we go. Plus... Oh, no, Snow doesn't do damage anymore. Never mind. But so Protect there and
Freeze Dry
going first.
We're going to a game 3.
Dang! All right.
So if you're Goose, you need to have an answer for this Belly Drum. Is it the Tinkaton with Belly Drum as well with the Mirror Herb? Maybe. right? Maybe that's your answer. You need to bring the Tinkerton back. Maybe we see the Sinister come in, try to turn the tides here on the Slush Rush, get a Trick Room going with maybe like. But then again, this team's pretty fast. I mean, I think we saw a Scarf on that Archaludon outspeeding some of the faster mounts in game 1. So could be dicey to set up Trick Room if he's even running it. You know, maybe you want to get that Belly Drum off and start getting Rage Powders as well, just like Heaven's doing with the Toad Scroll. I don't know. There's got to be some answer for. You can't let Titan sweep you again.
Yeah, something's got to change. Because that was just how Heaven drew it up. And 4-0 sweep in that game too. All right, so game 3. Both players had a pretty convincing win. Winner
Look
moves
at the
on.
wholesome chats as well. We see the weather lead here. We know Fake Cloak isn't
Fake
on
out,
the Pelipper,
yeah.
so it's free.
Break the sash, and we know Pelipper has sash, so we're going to break the sash.
Maybe we see an Electro Web come out. Could be big on this Titan, negating some of that Slush Rush.
Yeah, Electro Web again. Get a flinch. Yeah, we're just going to belly drum while the Tinkaton's not on the field.
I think what we're going to see here is a Protect and then a U-turn or a switch into the Toad Scroll. So you want to make sure that you're able to preserve those turns by getting your Rage Powder and your redirection.
Powders, absolutely.
And unfortunately, Goose misses the opportunity to take advantage of that Mirror Herb. We do activate the Slush Rush, which at -1 is not going to allow it to go
goes
first,
for a double Protect. Doesn't work.
Into
we
the
do
fake
have
out.
Fake Out and Protect on the set.
There you go. So the Protect there is to definitely weed out. And Rain Dance Manual!
No, Icy
on
Wind.
the Jolteon.
Oh, on the Jolteon Rain Dance. Nice.
Massive. But Priority Ice Shard doesn't even care. And now you're locked into Fake Out.
It can switch out. It can switch out.
It can switch, and it's going to have to. But now you're giving the Toad Scroll a chance to switch in for free. We're going to see another Protect here. Or maybe
Terra
not.
Ice Shard. Ooh, into the Terra Steel to stay alive.
With Tailwind, you're going to see a lot of Ice Shards from here on out.
Yeah, I think so.
The question is, does this Archaludon have enough to eat through this Toad Scroll? You're going to see a Fake Out here. We're definitely going to see a Protect coming in.
Oh,
do we have Spore? Can we set a Spore up?
Oh,
not gonna get a chance.
Love that call. Love that call. What do we say? We're going to see a Fake Out, and we're going to see a Protect. And Goose said, I agree that that's what Heaven thinks is going to happen. So I'm just going to double into the Mon that isn't going to Protect. And it absolutely paid off there. Wow.
It pays off.
Big
But
call.
now we have Fake Out coming in again, potentially later on with the Infernate. The Ninetales just going to come back in. Massive damage. Wow. Wow. And he opts to go for the Ninetales. I think that might be a mistake. You need to prioritize this to Titan with the priority. It's just going to kill you now, right? For the rest of this match.
Gigaton Hammer? Oh.
You know, maybe potentially reading a Protect on this Titan. But hadn't it
in with an Overheat. Dang.
Wow.
Well done, Heaven.
And we see the Belly Drums to Titan pull off a massive carry job on Heaven's team here, just annihilating through Goose's team. Doesn't even matter if you have Tailwind up when you have Ice Shard priority with +4 on a Stab Terra Ice Mon, doing massive damage. Big time.
Alrighty. Well done.
And it turned out that Electro Web that we noticed on the Jolteon turn 1 wasn't as impactful as we thought with the Slush Rush, thanks to that priority on the Ice Shard. Wow.
Awesome.
Certainly lived up to the hype. They were hyping up that set to be something spectacular, and it was.
That was a fun one to watch. Terra Ice, Belly Drum, Ice Shard. Scary stuff. Manual Rain on the Jolteon. Love that. We did see the 4th move on Tinkaton, Fake Tears. You called that one. Well done. Adjusted back to that Tinkaton in Game 3. Just not quite enough with the Ninetales adjustment out of Heaven.
Love the Manual Rain though on the Jolteon. That's such a it almost feels like if you have a Pelipper, it's like, do you want to waste the move slot to have Manual Rain? But on a supportive Jolteon with Cloak and Electro Web, it might just be worth it in a Weather War to say, okay, yeah, you switched in your Alolan Ninetales and my Pelipper's dead, or I don't want to switch it in yet. I'm just gonna set Rain. It has that surprise factor, and it really almost did pay off.
Yeah, Goose saying in the chat that the encoring the Tinkaton so that it Fake Outed instead of what he said he was Gigaton hammering the Titan to kill it that turn. So
yeah,
just getting
Jordan trembling in their boots right now at the encore. But alas, it proves to be a pretty good move.
Nobody disagrees that it's good.
It's good. For sure.
That would be a
Wow.
Encore isn't good would be a crazy position to take.
So which Mon used the Encore, if I recall correctly?
Ninetales.
Was it Ninetales? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well done. Well done. Let's take a look at these last two pastes here real quick. And then we will... so anything fun that we didn't see? We saw the Mirror Herb. Scarf Sinistra. 4 attacking moves. No Rage Powder. No Trick Room. Just Scarf, modest, fast. I wonder what this is outspeeding. Because it's not that fast. But...
and we didn't end up seeing it. And then we had the AV on the Archaludon. Just a monster of a Pokemon. We've seen Goose use this thing all season long to be an absolute menace. With the stamina, the body press, the electro shot, and the rain boosting the special attack means you don't even have to invest in it very much. But it turns out the physical wall of Archaludon doesn't matter when you're +4.
At +4
with the Terra Ice priority move. I mean, that Ice Shard did like 70%.
Yeah, we caught that. We caught it. Utility Umbrella.
We did, yeah.
Got it right
Really
away.
cool tech. I'm wondering what that was designed to stop, right? Because you are neutral to the water attacks to begin with, boosted by the rain. But maybe there were some calcs there where, some sort of like liquidation or from the Floatzel or something might have killed it. I'm not really sure. But
yeah, and I mean, you've got your citrus berries somewhere else. I guess it could have been leftovers as an alternative or something like that. But like when you're clicking Rage Powder, it's probably not going to be around for that long. I like it as just a get a little bit of extra value.
I like it because a lot of water moves you're probably redirecting a lot of water moves, so you may as well take less damage from them, right? Because the Utility Umbrella does negate that 1.5 damage boost you get from the rain, which is big.
Oh, Scarf Sinish is actually outspeeding the whole team.
Yeah, so Heaven
except
agreeing
for, like,
in the chat.
Once Slush Rush is up or something like that. Yeah.
Heaven saying in the chat that Toad Scroll otherwise gets destroyed by Wave Crash Floatzel if you don't have the Utility Umbrella. So that makes sense.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Fun builds. Latias didn't come, but that's okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it next week.
The Mons that had to come came. Awesome stuff. All right. Well,
just about 2 hours.
Yeah, just a little over 2 hours here.
Shout out to the people in the chat that have stuck through it with 2 hours to watch some Pokemon.
Yeah, the real ones.
You guys are the goats.
Hanging out for the whole time. Awesome stuff. Love to have you here. It was great to have you, Sucaba. Well done to Electric for requesting that you co-host by name. How's that feel?
Right. I feel like a celebrity.
I've never even had anybody request that I do a stream, and you got asked to be on mine.
I know. I feel like I'm famous. Maybe we could do it again next week for round 2.
Yeah.
Unless somebody else wants to take over the mantle.
Planning on
share the wealth.
Doing it Sunday night if I can.
I do have D&D Sunday night, so I might not be able to join you.
Maybe
but
not.
I'm sure you could find another co-host,
Yeah.
or we could do it another day. It's up to you. Do it Monday.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's not just keep making plans in places where the public can hear us and then hold us accountable for those plans.
That's fair.
So
good call.
It's great.
All right, everybody.
Great to have you. Thanks everybody
thanks for hosting.
for hanging in there. Peace.
See ya.